Yo, we back. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what was going on. And maybe Phil Spencer saw that and said, hell no, we got to get his ass up out of here. Hopefully y'all can hear me loud and clear. If y'all can, put a 1 in the chat. We back. I'm going to tweet this out and we going to get it going. I don't know what happened, man. Shit just said bloop. Let me get this going again. There we go. Let me tweet this shit out again. Hopefully I don't have no more internet issues or whatever that happened. Hopefully they don't try to take your boy out, man. You know Halo is a big thing. They don't play. They do not play. Hopefully y'all having a great Thursday evening. We finna get started here. Send this to some of my threads. I'm finna shout y'all out in a second. All right. Let's see who we got in the house tonight. Zero Steel in the house. Was good, player. Phil Bosch. Departa 9064. Listen, I'm gonna put my y'all remember back in the day they used to have the slow grooves, the quiet storm. I'm gonna put my quiet storm voice on. That's what it is. I'm gonna put my quiet. The Quiet Storm. That's what I should have titled this. The Quiet Storm. Zero Steel in the house. Phil Bosch. Deborah 9064. My brother. True SSJ Havoc. Veteran Prime. Big Stout. My brother Big Stout. What's good, player? Know your boy in the house. Jim D. Neon Berry, Twisted Sin, Byron Cutler, Plus Ultra, Muhammad Red, my brother, what's good? Who else is in the house? My brother Claymores. Say Phil Spencer hacking the stream instead of making good games. Big facts, brother. Listen, eventually Microsoft is going to make good games for PlayStation, right? They gave all the bad ones to Xbox. They bring all the good ones to PlayStation. One Sosa Gaming in the house. He came on a beautiful Thursday evening. And I'm your DJ and your host for the night. J-Dub. Jay Suede in the house was good. Zapmando. Harlem PS Gamer, my brother. Tim Dog, my brother Tim Dog. He said 2 days before the show, tell everyone Halo is going to PlayStation. Tim, you tried to tell them, man. You tried to tell them. They didn't want to hear it. They said it was only 4 games. They said it was only the Tinky Winkies. What happened? What happened? Guerrero Shelley in the house. King Shaq. J Boss the Dunn. Willie Star Simmons, my brother. We're going to talk about it. Of course, my brother Terrence Singh. Terrence, you know they try to take your boy out when they seen that thumbnail. Yeah, I think tonight, man, we need to take a little bit more serious tone to the show. It looks like the console war, of course, it's been over, but man, this is getting really, really sad. It looks like Xbox is going out down bad. They going out worse than Dreamcast. They not even fighting. You know, why not go out swinging? You know, go out with a bang. This is crazy. This is crazy. The game that started it all, Halo, which you see on your screen right now, right? They're gonna have a remaster of the original Halo, the next generation version, running on the PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 Pro, 240 frames. 8K graphics, pisser technology, DualSense haptic feedback, 3D audio, all the bells and whistles. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, I really don't. I know I like to poke fun at Xbox and talk shit. But man, I just never thought I'd see the day where Halo is coming to PlayStation. Like that's sacrilegious. That's equivalent to you know, Uncharted or even God of War. I mean, that's just crazy. Going to Xbox, that's crazy. You were right, Tim. You told us everything that was going to happen. You told us they didn't want to be honest. They didn't just want to rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with, so we can kind of move on. And it's a slow drip. And the sad part about it, everybody was supposed to be hyped up and excited for this showcase. How can you be hyped up and excited knowing that all the games they're going to show potentially is coming to PlayStation and possibly PlayStation soon? Lunchi, I see you, my brother. Welcome. El Nini in the house. It's bad out here, El Nini. I ain't never seen it like this, man. And we done went pretty deep, pause, in the console war. Why the hell is Phil at? We need some clarity. The last time all these rumors and stuff was going on, Microsoft was quiet about them. What happened? The rumors ended up being true. Remember that? Now these rumors kicking off again. Microsoft is quiet again. If it wasn't true, they could have easily came out and tweeted and said, nah, this is not true. We know it's true. We know it's true. Impatient 5 said Xbox is dog shit. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you this. Microsoft never really had a hardware problem. Even starting back with the OG Xbox, it was the best of the best. Great quality. The hardware was, I mean, even back then, it was the world's most powerful console with the OG Xbox. We know they screwed up in the Xbox One era. We know that. But they still could have put up some fight. And they didn't. They didn't fight at all. They took about 3 years off, decided what they were going to do, figured out if they want to close Xbox, try to figure this thing out. They decided to keep fighting. They gave us another world's most powerful console with the Xbox One X. 2 years later, they gave us two next generation consoles, the Xbox Series S and X. They go out and spend $100 billion on publishers and studios and IPs. They launched the consoles with no games. They spent all 2022 and didn't release anything. In 2024, they only released one 4-hour UE5 demo. And we were supposed to be hyped about all the games, the Towerfall and the Avowed and all these games coming out. And all we can talk about is the news today, which is round 2 of games coming to PS5. That was quick, right, Tim? That didn't take no time at all, brother. It's funny how 4 months ago, it was just 4 games. Oh, it's just 4 games. 4 months later, what do we have? Four months later, what do we have? This is crazy. But I'm gonna be honest. I think, matter of fact, I know that ABK deal going through was the worst thing that ever happened to Xbox. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Microsoft said it themselves. It accelerated their plans. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna open up Discord. We're gonna have a little guest coming here, guys. We're gonna have a little guest coming here. I want to get his opinion. My brother Lord Addict from the Iron Lords podcast. Y'all know him. Salute to him. I think they're out. I think my brothers are out in California right now. Yeah, I think they're out in California for the Xbox event. So let's see what Addict has to say about this, because a lot of times, he has some really great insight, and I don't want to be, I want to be fair.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, my brother. Let's do a mic check. There we go. We hear you.
All right. Trying to figure out what mic I'm coming out of. I got your opinion on something real quick before you get into the fuck shit, because I know you're gonna get into the fuck shit. So.
Okay, well, tonight I'm using my my quiet storm voice. We're gonna, this is gonna be a little bit less fanboyish, I think, and because we mellow and chill tonight. I got all tomorrow to be loud and boisterous.
You asking me to mellow and chill with you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, mellow and chill with me, brother. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting double feedback or something like that. So let me check that out and see why. Let me see why. Testing 1 2 3.
1 2 3 1 2 3.
Okay, it's like I hear it back. Chat, do you guys hear Addict? Do you hear him? Do you hear any reverb or anything? Any doubling? Let me know if you do. But I hear you loud and clear. It just kind of felt like it was some double audio from your mic. But yeah, Addict, man, thank you for joining me. I told the chat I assumed that you guys were in LA for the for the Xbox event.
No, I'm home.
Oh, okay. Oh, you home? Okay. So let's hear from you. How's your day been? How's everything going? How's everything in gaming? Before we get into the topic, go ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, not allowed to talk about the game I'm playing.
Okay.
But you guys will see it Monday.
Okay. Well, we will definitely be looking out for that. We'll be looking out for.
I asked the person if I could at least put on social media I'm playing it, and they said absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't understand why companies do that. Part of me feels like you should be able to at least say you're reviewing a game without being criticized for it. Like, there should be no, consequences for that.
That's true. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're scared that you're gonna leak something, even if you don't. They say, well, even if you talk about it or let people know, then people gonna come in. Well, okay. Go ahead.
There are companies that do it differently. Like when Microsoft put in the embargo, you can talk about the game on social media at this date.
Yeah.
So when people see a lot of people, covering a game all at the same time, it wasn't a coincidence. They were that was when the embargo for social media was up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, every time you do a review and stuff like that, and I always check out your videos because I want to see, if it's something I'm interested in and stuff like that, and plus I want to get a true gamer's perspective, of it, not somebody who's played it 5 minutes and said, yeah, it's for me or it's not for me or something like that. But so are you excited for the this event coming this Sunday? Well, yeah. I know prior to today's topic, I know you were excited and couldn't wait. I just didn't know if you hearing this news or rumors, I'm going to be fair. It is rumors for now. But the last time we had rumors like this, back in January, it turned out to be true. And here we are again, 4 months later, and sheesh,
The thing comes down to this, am I disappointed and maybe a little bit of the hype's not there because of the decisions that Xbox is making? Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's definitely a fair statement. But at the same time, I will say that when people are right to say that this should be about the games overall, and we do make it about the consoles more than we really should. But it doesn't take away the fact that I'm still disappointed on the direction.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I don't know why it feels like every time Xbox gets a little shine, gets a little positive news, is always followed not 3, 4, 5 days, not a week later. It's instantly followed by some negative news, or some trivial news that just takes the sting out of it. We had PlayStation's event, their state of play last week, week before last, I can't remember, a couple of days ago, and the show got majority negative feedback and stuff like that, and so this was Microsoft's time again to have a showcase and have the positive energy going into the summer, and they stumbled again. And I'm wondering, is this a marketing problem? Is this a executive problem, or is this just something that is just going to happen every time, because it's like we have this roller coaster: positive news, negative news, positive, negative. If this is the way that Microsoft is going to go, if they're officially going to just go third party, why don't they just rip the Band-Aid off one time, let people be angry one time, maybe a week, right? And then move on to the positive stuff because of Game Pass and everything else. Right now, people are supposed to be talking about Call of Duty coming to Game Pass. They're supposed to be talking about this showcase and all of these games that are coming to Xbox. And here we are, right? The whole internet is on fire talking about Halo coming to PlayStation. Then not only that, there's quite a few other games that was on the list, and I'll talk about in a bit. But what's your thought about that?
Which one do you want me to address first?
Just anyone, just anyone. Just give me. I want to hear Addict's thoughts on just Xbox in general right now and how they're handling things with the potentially, Halo coming, maybe Forza, maybe Starfield. Well, just give me your take.
I think it just comes down to, first off, none of this is officially confirmed. I will say that right now, the industry, it's really easy if you do want to make something up because of, what's been going on. It's pretty easy to hit people with I heard this. So and what's funny is like people say I don't know nothing. Oh yeah, I do. I just don't come open with stuff. I don't talk about the stuff I know. I might tell a select few. I've told J-Dub things in the past.
Yeah.
But it's because I feel like you're in a lose-lose situation. Things change all the time in the industry. And I knew about that Starfield thing that got leaked a couple days before it happened. And I could have easily have done that. But the thing is when you go above and beyond and you put your name on stuff, if something happens, it's a wrap at that point. Like, because if something goes wrong, and it's like I said, the industry changes all the time. And when I mean all the time, I mean all the time. When people talk about whether or not, Jeff Grubb was right on this, Jeff Grubb or Jeff Gordon was right on that, I've literally been told something, and then a week later, internally, they changed their mind. Like, it happens more than people think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So that's why I don't try to hit.
Try to beat that rush to be the first person there and stuff like that.
I don't mind being the first person there because I've always been very vocal on. I'm just covering the stuff that's going on in the industry right now, and if it's a rumors, then I'm covering rumors too, because at the end of the day, a lot of the time rumors turn out to be true.
That's true.
That's why I refuse to be one of those people that go, wait for an official announcement. Hell no. I'm talking about that shit now.
I hear you. Like, why wait?
I'm talking about shit.
So here's the thing. Yes, it's a rumor, but we were here in January and people were saying the same thing. Oh, it's just a rumor. You guys are running with everything. It's just a rumor. It's not confirmed.
Who was one of the first, the only people that even when like the business decision where they officially came out and said that this is what, they're not doing that. I was very vocal on, I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit one bit. Just because a company comes out and they say, okay, Starfield wasn't one of those games, how do you know that with the backlash they got, like, oh God, Because here's the thing, even if they did that business meeting, you're not guaranteed that Starfield was going to be named in those first four.
Yeah.
If just so happens those four games Starfield wasn't ready to be one of those four games.
Absolutely. And
it doesn't mean they're not doing it, and it doesn't mean that it's not in the work right now. It just means at that time Starfield's not been announced to come to the platform.
Absolutely. And I did notice and I did notate that you have to read what Phil said. He didn't say that it wasn't coming.
Actually, you want to come on here too?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me if you can send him that link, or I can send him. So we got created for Kid Smooth. I don't know what his Discord handle is, but if you can copy, copy what I sent you. Let's hear what Smooth got to say about it.
currently.
Yeah,
But if he does, I will.
yeah. I think I can't I kind of keep going back to we've heard this before, and weeks later it was confirmed to be true. 4 months later, here we are. The first time these rumors started, that was the first wave. Phil said, these are the first 4 games that are coming. And he always gives himself an out. He didn't say that Starfield wasn't coming. He just said that it was not part of the first, he wasn't part of the first 4 that was coming. So we took that as, well, yeah, that's him saying that there's a potential there. But I mean, I'll be honest. First, people said, well, the single player stuff don't make sense. Maybe the live service stuff like Sea of Thieves, that stuff makes sense. But then they chose Hi-Fi Rush. Well, that's a single player game. That's one of your highest rated games. That's one of your biggest games of the year. And then a couple of months later, we found out that studio was getting dissolved, and so that was the stuff. And then here we go again. More rumors, more games. I don't know what Microsoft goal is right now. Satya has been very clear. He actually kind of came out bragging, saying that Microsoft has 9 games on PlayStation. PlayStation Store that's was like the top reviewed and top played and top purchased games and stuff like that on PlayStation. So I knew if Sea of Thieves and Grounded would do well, that would open the floodgates. Because if those games, which aren't your big mainstay games, right? Those are great games, but let's face it, they're not Xbox's bread and butter when it comes to being the face of it. The face of Xbox is your Halo, your Gears, and your Forza. Well, apparently, I don't know if it's Gears 6, but a Gears collection, now Halo CE collection or whatever is possibly coming. Again, Microsoft hadn't stated anything, but they didn't state the 4 games the first time, right? Before it all leaked. Jez Corden went out, from Windows Central, went out and said that the games aren't coming to PlayStation. It's just a fanboy's wish list, and come to find out, literally a day later, it was confirmed that the games were coming. So I'm just trying to make some sense of this. Go ahead.
The reason I don't really take a lot about what Xbox or anyone's saying is because I do know that whatever their internal plans are, from what I've been told, nothing's written in stone. They're looking at the analytics of these games, what they do well, what they don't do well. Like, there's a lot of variables that can lead to them doing it, but there's a lot of variables that can lead to them not doing it. I know that they're really hyper focusing on the retention rate and how many people's playing Xbox, and if that number drops to a certain metric, they're going to reconsider stuff. Like, there's a lot of moving parts that I don't know where it's going to lead out to, because I feel like the long-term damage is what's going to lead to them being hurt. Now, I feel like by the time they get the numbers that they want, it would be too late. But then again, it's like, we don't know. I've always said in doing podcasting for like damn near 6-7 years, 2014, almost 10 years actually. I've always said that we put too much faith in exclusives. I've always said that, like, you know, Call of Duty sells, you know, making a deal with something like, Okay, I'm on a podcast, Zachary. So, you know, when it comes to something like that,
Yeah.
you look at Call of Duty. I'm willing to bet you Call of Duty has sold more PlayStations than all the exclusives combined. You know, they have really big deals with Fortnite. I'm willing to bet you, once again, Fortnite sells more PlayStations than probably all their exclusives combined times 2. Doesn't mean they shouldn't do it, but I feel like it's like a domino effect. The reason I feel like you should really focus on exclusives is because I don't think, as a hardcore audience, we always try to act like the casual audience is literally ignorant, like they're stupid. We influence more than people think, and the exclusives is what's going to influence us. And then we're going to tell a friend, yo, this game's hot, you should go get it. And then that's going to lead to another game and another person and another person. And before you know it, there's a lot more people playing the game because of a couple handful of influencers. That's why when people talk about traditional media, I always tell people, you don't know what you're talking about. Traditional media does good. Depends on what you're selling.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you're doing marketing these days, they want to do targeted marketing. They don't want to just market on anything, and they don't want to market everywhere, because they're not reaching the audience. People are actually going to pay for their stuff.
Exactly.
And I think that's what people are getting mixed up a little bit, is just because you think something sells doesn't mean that's how it realistically happens.
Okay.
People
say what you're saying.
You might have to turn me up in OBS.
I got you. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got you. So your levels are right now.
Yeah, I'm more wanting them to maintain if they're done with the exclusive thing, it's like, man, at least do timed. Which I have been told that maybe the Doom thing is timed. People are jumping the gun on the new Doom game. It does look like there is a chance that could be timed. I highly doubt it. But if it is timed, that would be good. Even if it's just a year or 6 months, like having those couple months that you're forcing people to buy it on your platform, it will be tremendous, especially something like Doom. You know, I don't think people give Doom enough credit. Doom is definitely a console seller.
Yeah.
It might not sell millions, but it's a console seller. Like,
I agree.
They keep saying I'm low.
I
mean, I don't think it's my mic. Check me in Discord. Maybe you've turned me down in Discord. There's different levels to a console selling, and I think we can all be honest on that. Just because you have a really successful game doesn't mean nothing else can sell consoles. Starfield was a console seller, just not to the degree it should have been. You could still sell something. Astrobot is a console seller because it's still bringing eyes to the console. Now there's definitely bigger names. I would say, you know, Halo, in terms of Xbox, is a really big Xbox seller.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What's the end game addict? Like, first we went to this would never happen. I don't
think they know the end game. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think they know the end game.
Well, let me ask you this: if you don't know the end game, but you potentially going to put out more hardware, you know, isn't that kind of crazy? And anyway, before you say anything, Mighty Man 1256, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, Impatient Fire, Brian Cutler, Saber Zero, Vex, all you guys,
Saber Zero said Doom games are not a big console seller. No one is buying a $500 console to play Doom. Well, there's a Series S that's $300, but I'll keep going. The last Doom was on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and it wasn't a major seller. Let's do me a favor, J-Dub. Tell me how much money Doom Eternal made. Just Google that real quick for me.
Okay. Let's get down to it. Let's see how much money Doom Eternal. Now, keep in mind, Doom Eternal was on everything.
Yeah, but see, that still shows the anticipation, the willingness of people going out and buying something.
No, absolutely. I think that game sold extremely well. It made over $450 million in revenue in less than a year at launch.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a
$500 million for a game just at launch. So we can't discount Doom, guys. I'm not saying people go out and buy a console for Doom, but you got to realize it's not just one game, it's a multitude of games. If you have Doom and then you have Fallout and then you have another game, well, guess what? Those 3 games, that equals a system seller, right? Especially if they're exclusive. If it's not exclusive, then it has a little bit less impact. And I think that's what we need to focus on, is the impact of Xbox. Does Xbox have a impact? We thought that Call of Duty going into Game Pass would generate a big impact, but you follow that with a bunch of negative news, and I'm saying rumors, not news, because it's not confirmed. I do want to state that today. I got tomorrow to run it up the flagpole, but it lets the air out the ball, the basketball. You just let more air out of that, and it's like Xbox is selling worse than the Xbox One. And I keep asking this question: why is it seemed like gamers just don't mess with Xbox? They just don't fuck with Xbox for whatever reason. Game Pass is a great, appealing offer for the console. It has, Activision Blizzard now. It has Bethesda. It has all of this stuff. And yet we saw holiday season when the Xbox Series S was $139 and the Series X was $349, and nobody bought in any tangible numbers. They didn't win NPD. It was a dud for that holiday season. And so we started the year off in January, and we found out that somebody made a decision. I think it was Satya, to just put games everywhere. And then that's when the rumors started, and that's when it was confirmed. Now, it was just 4 games, right? But then here we are again. So will it be another 4 games? I hope, and I'll be honest, I hope they don't show anything that's going on PlayStation at this showcase that's coming up.
I don't think they will, but I would be very disappointed if they chose to. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me, not even a little bit.
Even if they don't, right? Even if they don't acknowledge it, on everybody's mind, everyone will say, this potentially is coming to PlayStation. Everybody's going to talk about it.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Xbox, they opened up that. And I think they have no right to get upset when people feel that way, because they opened up those conversations.
But with some of the things that Microsoft is doing and the PR and everything else, do you think Microsoft don't care? Do you think that they want to go ahead and get this out there so gamers can go ahead and just acknowledge it, let it sit within them, and then just move on? Do you think they don't care? They're like, yeah, we need to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. It's about time. Let's just get it out there. We don't care. Or do you think that's spearheaded by Satya? We haven't heard from Phil in quite some time. I
think it's like I said, I do think that this is going to be a case by case thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that anything's up for debate, and I don't think nothing's left off the table. Nothing's guaranteed to come over. I just think that this is one of those things where, I was told, even on TV, this
well, PlayStation, they would show this before themselves. So, you know, because I've got 6 DCs, one of the biggest titles on Xbox right now. Like that game does ridiculous. Go look at DCs on Steam right now.
Yeah.
I do think that they were happy with themselves, but it didn't fit their internal measures.
I understand that.
You know, when you're doing something like bringing over such as structure off of here, you could have higher expectations because not only is it that, but it's also attacking, your brand in general. So you're gonna have to see more of the revenue coming in to make up for the fact that it's hurting your brand.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, they said Attic, J Dub, and Chad. Just okay.
Can you hear me fine?
I hear you just fine.
It's gotta be. I mean, you got the McDonald's Wi-Fi. What's going on, man? No, stop this. What's going on?
Listen, I don't know, brother. I don't know. How about this? I think I know what's going on, guys. Stand by with me. Stand by. I think I know what's going on with Addict's mic. He's coming through my NVIDIA broadcast. So just 1 second. Testing. All right, Addict, say something.
Hello.
There you go. I think they can hear you now. No more echo, right, guys? Yeah, I got you coming through the same source as me. There you go. I got you going through the same source as me. I do. The OBS Streamlabs, yeah. Okay, I did that. Yeah, it's kind of like you're coming through my mic as well as the headphones. They hear double, which is really crazy. Hold on 1 second, just 1 second. Can you guys hear Attic double now? I made a change. Do you hear? Say something, Attic? Say testing 1 2 3. Oh yeah, you. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, they said that they can't hear you at all now. Let me I got it. Oh. All right. Say something at it. I'm sharing it. Oh, I think I got it. I think I found it, man. Twice. They should hear you. Headphones. All right. in Discord. Hold on, guys. Don't switch. Share my screen. All right, Addict, can you see? Yeah. No, the music is down here. Yeah. Right here on the microphone, or yeah, properties. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right. Geesh. Okay, so I gotta stop the stream. All right. Go back to. I'm just gonna go back to where I was, and then you can troubleshoot it from there. Stand by, guys. You know, technical difficulties. All right, so let me go back to OBS. I did. Yep. I see what you're saying. Gotcha. I gotcha. Brian Cullen said, J-Dub said, hip hop gamer told me Sony wants to get into the fighting scene. Okay, you can see it now. Okay, they should be able to hear you loud now. Hey, can you guys hear Attic? Say something, Attic. Perfect. I said, guys, can you hear me? Come on, give me some feedback. Can you guys hear Attic? I just set you back to where you were before, and okay, gotcha. It's the gear properties. Yeah. All right.
Hello.
Can you guys hear Attic now?
Hello.
That might have been.
You might hear an echo.
They said
hello. Give it a couple seconds. The stream's behind.
Testing. Say testing.
Testing. Yeah,
turn the volume up. It said finally. They said finally. There it is. All right.
Do you hear me twice?
I hear you. I'm good.
Okay.
They can hear you. They say you good now.
Yeah. See, I know this tech shit. Like,
appreciate you, Attic, man.
I knew exactly just from what what was going on. I knew exactly what was wrong. I needed to explain to you.
No, absolutely. Young City was good. True Virgil was good. One yay. B Carter, my brother Muck. Everybody, man. Everybody, I appreciate you. We got 143 people in here. It's kind of late night, but we wanted to talk about the news. The news of the moment, man. Potentially Halo is coming to PlayStation 5. Potentially Starfield as well. And I have the and I'll kind of share with you guys exactly what's being rumored right at the moment.
Send Smooth that Discord link to your to him and Twitter. He might
Okay,
join if he sees it.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to him on Twitter. What you want me to D? Yeah, I DM him. Kid Smooth. Addict are in here. All right, we might get Kid Smooth in the house, man. We're gonna see. Hopefully, he can join us and give his opinion. But here are the games that are rumored to come. This is the second batch of games, which is crazy, man, for me to say and here. We never thought we'd see this day coming, but it is what it is, But Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition, Age of Mythology Retold, Hellblade 2, Starfield, Halo CE, and Doom Dark Ages. Those are the next, set of games. Now, mind you guys, some of these games are probably already worked on. According to Rare, they say they had a frosted glass, and it was a secret project that nobody in the studio had. And this was in early 2020, I believe, or 2019 or something like that. So, yeah, these studios have PS5 dev kits and stuff. Now, can you imagine if Starfield comes out? Well, of course, PlayStation going to have the definitive edition because we got your PS5 and then the PS5 Pro. It's already going to have the 60 frames a second patch and all that stuff. And it just comes with a game not coming out at launch. Here's the thing. If an addict, this is a big if, but if Starfield comes to PS5, when they announced the DLC, right? PlayStation gamers are not only going to get Starfield, but they're going to get Starfield with the DLC, with the 60 frames, and the enhancements.
It's not going to be.
Things like that.
It's not going to be at the same time with the DLC.
I know. I'm just again. This is all hearsay.
It would probably
right?
be 6 months after the DLC.
Yeah. Man, that would be. I'm just thinking, even if it's time, how did we get here? How do we get to it'll never happen? That's crazy. To okay, it's just going to be a few games where it makes sense, like live service games. To okay, it's going to be more than that, but it's not going to be the tempo games. To okay, it's the tempo games, but there's going to be some delay. It won't be day and date. And then guess what? Some tell me 6 months from that we'll be talking about it's day and date, but it's not in, you don't have Game Pass. And before you know it, Game Pass. It's like, how do we get here? How did, as us as gamers, especially Xbox gamers, how did we bend over backwards, allowing this one by one? Because these companies, if you give them an inch, eventually they're going to take a mile. And that's why PlayStation gamers are so staunchly against day and date. They're staunchly against their games going to PlayStation. They are staunchly against anything outside of the PlayStation ecosystem, which means PlayStation itself, nothing else. This is why they fight Sony tooth and nails over certain things. Because once you accept that, I remember Crap Gamer back in 2016, 2017, he argued with Phil over Quantum Break. And Phil said, well, you're upset that other people get to, play your games. And Crap Gamer had a point then, but of course he got ridiculed and people laughed at him. Well, when you fast forward a year from that point, all of Xbox's games were on PC, day and date. So he had a valid point back then. And people laughed. It's like, it's just one game. Well, one game turned into multiple games, which turned into the whole slate. And this is why PlayStation guys are staunchly fighting against PC and against bringing their games there day and date. This is why. Because they don't want this, what's going on with Xbox, they don't want it to happen.
Agree. See, here's the thing, though. This isn't... Xbox is being very dramatic about it, but this isn't like an Xbox issue. This is an industry issue. Like, these AAAs cost so much money, and instead of like finding unique ways of making more budgeted titles that still give the same effect that we get now, a lot of these companies are just choosing to like look elsewhere for money. You know, Xbox did it with PC a few years ago. Now they're doing it with, you know, spreading it on like PlayStation stuff. PlayStation's entertaining the idea of, you know, bringing some games to PC and not other games, and now it's getting to the point where, okay, this game, that game, because it's the same thing you said a minute ago. Like, you know, it's a gradual ladder. I personally feel like this isn't the way to go. Games like Fortnite's ruined the industry. It's helped the industry, but it's ruined the industry at the same time. There's a massive amount of people that would normally have a next-gen hardware that play games like Fortnite every day, and they never have to upgrade. So that's why you're seeing across the board these consoles not outselling last, you know, iterations. Yeah. What they say, PlayStation 5 is like, what it was like 18% lower than last quarter. Like, it's because there's no reason for these other people to upgrade.
Well, it was, but they talked about that, and I'm glad they did that with the financial. The reason it was lower is because the previous was extremely high. It was so high that, I mean, obviously it outdid any PlayStation ever made. It did any console ever made numbers, right? It did so spectacular. Of course, anything after that is going to be lower, so it's going to look that it was looked at 18%. It's like, yeah, but your previous ones was like, you sold 21 million, you know, 20.8 million consoles. So of course, even if you sell 19 million this time, that's going to be, that number is going to be a substantial number because
but
of
the thing
reduction.
is it's like the pandemic. When these companies made all that money in the pandemic, they should have saw that as, okay, we're doing really good now because people are trapped in their house. We shouldn't expect this next quarter. But they didn't do that. Instead of lowering their expectations, they fired 20,000 people just to maintain that profit growth. These companies don't care if there's reasoning behind it. They just care about the bottom line.
Well, I'll say this. I agree with you, but there's two different cases, two different scenarios. PlayStation is in a different boat than Xbox right now. PlayStation consoles actually sell, and they sell a tremendously amount a lot. It's just like otherworldly, right? In the grand scheme of things. And so their numbers were so high. Matter of fact, they figured it was going to be high. They predicted 25 million. And of course, they lowered their projections and said it was going to be 21, and they got to be 20.8. That is, Xbox is nowhere in that realm. But I want to play this clip because this gives some clarity. Because I see people in the chat saying it's not an industry problem, it's a Xbox problem, because PlayStation is selling gangbusters and Nintendo is selling gangbusters.
Of course, you know, you have a primary PlayStation Gosling chat. So let me explain what I was saying. I wasn't saying that putting stuff multi-platform is an industry problem. I was saying growth in the industry is an industry problem. These companies are having a hard time reaching a broader audience, a newer audience, because they don't give a fuck about these games. They're playing stuff on their phones. They're playing Fortnite on computers. Like, my brother's generation don't play consoles like we play consoles. They're not adapting into the console market like that.
Yeah. And that's a great, I mean, that's a great case to make,
because these companies, they don't look a right now thing. PlayStation sees they're doing good right now. They look the next 10 years. They look what the landscape of the industry is going. It's part of the reasons Xbox is in the dumbass position they're at, because Xbox tries to move things too fast. You know, instead of letting stuff naturally happen, they want to try to be there first, and it always blows up in their face.
Yeah. Well, you know, is that because just Microsoft is a tech company and they like to be there first, and hey, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Console is growing more faster than mobile. So you're saying there's more console gamers than mobile gamers. Can you please give me a link to that? Would you mind doing that? Give me a link to that info.
I don't want to put some on the screen.
I'd like, no, I want this dude to give me a link to that crazy segment that he just said that the console growth is higher than mobile growth.
Okay. Let's do this, guys. I have this clip here, and I want to get your reaction on this, and I want to get your take on what they're saying. I'm gonna,
and that's what I'm saying, Brian King. Microsoft, Nintendo, PlayStation, not necessarily Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo is pretty understanding on what their demographics going to be. They're trying to reach a market that don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
And that, why you think Microsoft keeps making dumbass statements like, oh, we want to reach 2 billion gamers? Why do you think PlayStation's putting more and more games on PC? Because they're trying to reach audiences that they don't think's ever going to enter into the console market.
Okay.
And I will.
Quick question: are you watching the stream?
No.
Okay. You should be able to hear this. Hold on. Stand by.
And frankly, it shows an extremely strong PlayStation brand that shatters any concept that console gaming is experiencing an industry-wide problem and not just a brand-centric one in certain corners. The sales data is specifically staggering. So this is, I don't know if you guys saw this. I shared this document actually in the Discord last night.
Can you hear Edit?
No, I can't. Just tell me what it is. Most likely I've heard it.
PlayStation experienced $24 billion in cumulative revenue.
You just tell me the reference era, what you're talking about.
Poland with the sacred symbols. The video is playing right now.
Okay, just let them play. Watch it then.
Sony has already earned 106 million of revenue within 106 billion. I really wish you could watch this stream to hear what he's saying.
Hello?
What's up, Smooth?
Hey, Smooth, what's going on?
I just got out the shower and had to make me a cup of tea. I just saw your messages.
Okay. I wanted to. I was playing this clip, and it was from Sacred Symbols, and they reported from the Sony financials, and they went line by line what PlayStation said, and it's basically PlayStation 5 in just 3.5 years is already surpassing any previous PlayStation they had. They made more last year than PlayStation 1 made the whole entire generation.
But see, we're also talking about it's not the same metrics because microtransactions wasn't as relevant as they are these days. You can have one game that makes more money than a whole generation. Easy, because back then microtransactions wasn't making the kind of money it's making now.
Absolutely. And I totally understand that. But we're saying how I think the topic was really industry problem versus Xbox problem. For example, Nintendo and PlayStation, they don't have a problem selling consoles. They sell them out the ass any day of the week, every month. They just sell them out the wazoo, right? Xbox, on the other hand, can't do that. They're not doing that. It's almost stagnant. So that's not an industry problem. That's a Xbox problem. And revenue, reaching bigger audiences and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'll be honest. If PlayStation sold 160 million PlayStation 2s, and I want to use this because I've heard this going around. People use this in their talking points, and it's invalid to me. And the reason why it's invalid is because PlayStation 2 was an anomaly. For one, that generation lasted for 13 years. meaning PlayStation 2s were produced for 13 years. People kept buying that console well into the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 era. On top of that, you had to take into the account of the DVD era, right? That was a new concept. That's what everyone went out to buy. It was the cheapest DVD player you can buy. Plus, that console launched at $299, and it was sold at the end of its run for like $99, right? The cheapest DVD player you can find, the cheapest Blu-ray player you can find. Not Blu-ray, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? So on and on and on. You have to take that into account. This is why the PlayStation 2 era don't really count. Or even if you're going to count it, you have to say, okay, PlayStation 5 may last for 7 years, maybe 8, depending, if this PS5 Pro dropped this year. Last generation lasted for 7 years.
And then people got to realize too that, these consoles these days, they can sell less and still make more than previous generations because it's just simply more people playing games these years.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But you know what? Another thing as well, we look back in the Super NES days, back in the Sega Genesis days. Back then, a lot of those games cost like $60, $70, $80 for some games, depending on the cartridge size, right? Even though there was less consoles being sold back then, they would sell 50, 60 million consoles. Obviously now the standard for PlayStation is 120 million, right? That's just on any given generation, they're going to sell 120 minimum, right? For
and
PlayStation.
That's what I was saying about issues with growth. The younger generations aren't playing consoles like that.
Well, that's true. Now, here's the thing.
And not to mention, PC is a more accessible than it's ever been. So a lot of people are going that route too.
True. Well, you're absolutely right. Here's my take on the PC thing. Sure, people have PC, but when it comes to high-end PC gaming, that number is a lot smaller than what people would like to tell you, right? Because we see the GPUs and the specs of...
Yeah, but the amount of people that have high-end PCs is really small. So
that's my point. That's really...
But you don't need a high-end PC.
True, but the average PC out there, I mean, you got to think the majority of gamers game
Isn't it like a 2060 or some shit like that now?
No, this is 1060 or whatever. But
I thought that was old numbers though.
No, but that's okay. Let's say a 2060, right? That's still on the high end. We're talking about the bulk of gamers because they don't separate the high end gamers from the people with the Intel integrated graphics, the regular standard laptops that they play The Sims or Solitaire or whatever. They lump that all together, so the numbers are always skewed. That's why when people, a lot of PC gamers like to think that just because there's 3 billion PC gamers out there, there's not 3 million people that are playing high-end games, right? Those
hold up real quick.
Go ahead.
Kid Smooth, what generation is your kids in? Smooth.
Smooth, you here?
It's the young generation right now. That's the one. It's not my brother's generation. Like half of them do that. A lot of these younger generations, they play on tablets and shit.
Well, let me.
That's
tell you
why,
this.
like, it's funny when people are saying the mobile market is doing better than the console market. If the mobile market was doing better than the console, if this console wasn't doing that good and the mobile market wasn't doing that good, there would be no reason to even buy some of these mobile games and cut. Like, look how many all these publishers trying to chase a mobile bag. I guess it means that it's not growing.
Yeah.
The amount of money that mobile makes is ridiculous.
Well, we understand that, but we also understand
Your chat don't.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I don't like when the industry try to lump different gamers together. We're console gamers. It needs to stay console gaming. When we talk, we need an apples to apples comparison. We can't take my wife that has an iPhone that plays Candy Crush. We can't take her and lump her in the same.
I agree, but that's not the way.
But this is what we do. No,
see,
absolutely.
But that's
all
why
the
you corporations see is what audience and what part of gaming they can get in to make the most money. They don't give a fuck about console do this, console do that. Where's the money? Oh, mobile's making this. Let me get into that. That's all they care about.
Well, they can do that, but at the end of the day, we're console gamers, right? We all have PCs. We all have high-end PCs. Whatever. PC is its own segment. I hate when, and this is really what it is, right? Most PC gamers don't care about consoles. They don't get into the fanboy argument to fight. They go and play their Dota. They go and play their World of Warcraft. They go and play their RTSs, and they mind their own business. They're their own segment. But what happened is there's a bunch of PC gamers. A lot, I'm not just going to throw it on Xbox, but a lot of Xbox guys that were disgruntled with Xbox last generation, this generation. They go and buy a PC, and then they claim to be PC master race, and then they argue within the fanboy stuff. They're not really PC guys. I don't consider. Shout out to my brother Doc Dark in here. Hey Doc, man, I'm gonna send you an invite too, brother. If you check your,
because Smooth's not talking.
Yeah, Doc.
I had to mute my mic. I ain't know what I'm listening to the conversation. I right now I don't have a disagree or agree in chat. I'm just trying to see what's
clearly not listening too much. I asked you a question.
Now you must have asked me once I had muted and had to step away because my dog was barking.
Yeah. I like to have apples to apples comparisons. That's why I don't really get into the whole argument and stuff with PC because it's a different subset. But we're talking consoles, right? I'm a console gamer. You're a console gamer. Smooth's a console gamer. We love our consoles. We've been console gamers for the longest. I just don't see trying to drag PC into it or other mobile cell phones and stuff like that. Stuff is irrelevant to us. Ever since the Sega Genesis days, the NES days, it's been the NES versus the Sega Genesis versus the Atari 2600 versus the Dreamcast and on and on and on, right? All these 3DO, all this stuff, right? I that's what I like to do. I like to stick apples to apples. Right now, distinguishing what is a industry problem versus what is a Xbox or a PlayStation problem. Hey, Doc Dark, if you check your DM on Twitter, brother, I send you an invite to the Discord. You can jump in here. I'd love to get your opinion. Specifically, what I just said. There are a lot of disgruntled Xbox guys now have jumped ship to PC and they become PC master race. Here's the thing. I do not consider those guys PC gamers. They're just console guys that play console games on their PC.
Didn't you tell these Xbox people, why do you still support the Xbox brand? You should go to something else. And then they do. And now they can't be considered PC gamers because they used to play on Xbox. You see how crazy that sounds?
No, they can. I mean, think about it. If that's the case, I'm a PC gamer. I have a high-end PC, and I play 50% of my games on PC.
I'm not saying those
to be
people
fair,
should be considered Xbox gamers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you told them to lead the Xbox brand. It's not doing what it should do.
Yeah, but I told them to, hey, because if you're disgruntled,
to me it feels like you would have been okay if they came to PlayStation.
No. I had already closed the door, brother. I said no more.
I don't know, man.
PlayStation Nation.
I know for a fact is talking shit to Tim. They opened him with open arms right now.
Man. Well, I mean, okay.
That I missed out on.
Okay, you missed out on this question. Was like
stronger than 80% of the people in this chat. So,
well, no, absolutely. Here's the thing, Smooth. Right? It's like PlayStation doesn't have an issue selling their consoles or selling their games. Nintendo doesn't have a problem selling their console or their games. Xbox has a problem selling their consoles. Whether to an extent that they need to be to compete with everybody else. And Addict said that generally this is an industry problem that they're going at. They're trying to open up the doors and they're trying to get new gamers and expand and stuff like that. But the chat said that they said that this is not an industry problem. What Xbox is going through right now is a Xbox problem. Matter of fact, PlayStation just had their financials come out, their investor meeting and stuff, and they put it out there. PlayStation 5, just 3.5 years into this generation, that's where we're at right now, is surpassed the revenue that it made on PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1. Right? And so
Lifetime. You're saying lifetime?
Yes, lifetime. In just 3.5 years. And so obviously, right, they're on trajectory to outdo all of that. Mm-hmm. This is it's crazy.
I'm gonna say this. Two things can be correct, because I agree with you that Xbox has an Xbox problem, and when you see the success of PlayStation and Nintendo, it doesn't seem like an industry problem if Xbox is the only one suffering, and they're the only ones making a drastic change for it to be an industry problem. They're the only ones making a drastic change. PlayStation and Nintendo are still pretty much status quo. The other thing that can be true is that sure, PlayStation is making exceeding revenue of lifetime consoles of previous generations, but the this is the first time a generation where there has not really been a price drop. We're still at launch prices for the PS5. The console, the games have now. I know back in the day, games prices varied. It wasn't really a standard price. They just varied depending on the game. There is a new standard price or ERSB for like your standard AAA game, which is $7.99. That's just the base model. Most games are pretty much $100 for what they want you to buy. So I think, two things can be true. Yes, Xbox has a problem. The industry probably has a problem, but the thing is that it's the thing is that PlayStation might have a problem, but it's not really a problem if there's growth, there's like sales, right? They might sit back and PlayStation will say, well, at the end of the day, we're probably going to land at 110, 115 million, which is fine, but that puts you right on par with what the PS4, right?
Yeah.
So they're it's like, so at that point when they look at it in the whole grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, well, the goal, like, we're never probably going to touch this 200 million number and stuff like that. When people are looking at it from an unreasonable standpoint, and this is why I don't like the gaming industry and how their math have to work, because games have to sell so many, profits have to be like so many, and then console sales has to hit this whatever target that they're having. It's almost unattainable, but PlayStation is in line with what they traditionally do. So if they just really be honest and be like, you know what, console business is 150 million, that's the goal, right? So if our console pretty much fall within line, it's a success. Let's do that again for the next 7 years on our next console. Xbox, on the other hand, hasn't had a console touch 100 million. Their best console, which was the 360, was at I think 80 something million.
Yeah.
But when you look at the Xbox One, I think Xbox One landed at maybe 50, 60. The
48.5
for the Xbox One.
Yeah. 48.5.
And then the original Xbox, it had the shortest lifespan. I think it was like 4 years. Was like around like 20 something million. And the Series X S generation, is probably going to land where the Xbox One is. So that's just unfortunately the pecking order of it. Xbox is not as popular as Nintendo and PlayStation. And Nintendo itself is on a decline because they're just waiting on their next console. But they've done so much damage, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean at this point? So it's troublesome to see Xbox in their sales like at this point, because we would still consider we're at that launching pad of the generation where your sales should be at like on the upward trajectory to the peak. And it seems like they had that moment, had their peak, whatever, pretty much for a year, which was 2020, 2021. And then now they're like pretty much at like, okay, that's just Xbox what it is, and so do I think the industry got a problem? Yeah, but I think it's self-inflicted. I do think Xbox has an Xbox problem, and that's evident only because they're the only ones making a drastic change on how they operate and how they treat their console business.
Real quick, Xbox has their own issues. That's Xbox problems. But there growth in the industry is the entire industry. Fellas? It's not just one platform.
My brother.
Besides maybe Nintendo. I don't know why they keep breaking numbers every time.
And then can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir, brother.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
They can hear you loud and clear.
This is actually what's up, guys? This is actually a really, really good conversation. Just from my perspective, Addict hit on something with the younger generation. Man, my kid is 9 years old. Him and his cousins, they'll come over the house and easily will hop on Roblox on their phones, on a tablet, on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, whatever. They don't care what screen is on, right?
My cousin's daughters play everything on their phone. They play Roblox 24/7 on their phone.
And here's the thing, right? Xbox, from what I can see, right?
Real quick, let me just say, in past generations, they would be playing consoles in a couple years. They're not doing that. They're playing anything that is available to them. Why do you think so many companies, when they make games, they try to make a PC version? I mean, a mobile version. Genshin Impact, I'm pretty sure had one. Call of Duty had one.
Well, I even mentioned it. I didn't even realize this, but did you guys know that Call of Duty Mobile is more popular than regular Call of Duty?
No, absolutely, it is. Yeah,
it's got more. That's insane. There's more players on Call of Duty Mobile than there are on any other Call of Duty. But hold on. Let me finish my point. Here's the thing. I agree with the statement that Xbox problems are not Sony problems. I agree with that statement. I would argue that Xbox problems didn't even start this generation. They started last generation, and this generation, that's when they went in with the whole they promote that you don't need a console. So I know people try to use that against them, like, oh, they're not selling consoles, all that sort of stuff. But I really don't think Xbox is tripping that much. I think they kind of knew, like, okay,
no, they are.
We lost the Xbox One generation pretty bad. And Smooth said it himself as well, that PlayStation is just a more popular brand, which I agree with 100%. And there's nothing against Sony. They just are who they are, right? They're a more popular brand. And it's not that Sony is doing bad or Sony has the same problems, but they are still all fighting for screen time. And that's what it is. People are fighting for screen time. When we were all growing up, if you had a cell phone, you weren't on your cell phone all day and night unless you were playing the freaking little snake game. I think the coolest cell phone I got when I was the coolest cell phone I got when I was growing up was I remember I had a Sidekick, and I thought that was cool, right? But remember logging on to the internet, it took forever. But nowadays they're fighting for our screen time, and that phone, man, it's a problem. For us, we still like to go ahead and play on the console. We still like to go ahead and boot up our things, whatever. But yeah, these kids, Addict is 100% right, man. They don't care, and all they care about is how fast can I get into the game? How fast can I start playing? Can I play it anywhere? And that's what they're fighting against. So I understand what Sony is doing.
There's a dude named, hold up real quick. There's a dude named Pirate something. He's a developer that used to work at Blizzard. I'm sure some of you've seen his shorts and stuff. Huge streamer, massive streamer. What he said, when he used to do PR events, he had two console stations at these PR events, and he said they had to start taking one of them away because people didn't know how to use a controller.
Well, I'll tell you this. So my youngest, 14, 11, and 8.
Hey, Doc, how much you want to bet he's about to make up something for PlayStation's benefit?
No. Hear me out, right?
Let me hear.
My kids, right? and y'all know we the Xbox, PlayStation, all that PCs. Everybody has their own gaming laptop. Everybody has. My oldest son, he's 14. He has this his PC rig with a 4080 in it. He also has a PS5
The younger two have or they had rather a Series S and a Series X. The only games that they played on their Xbox was Roblox and Minecraft. Once
Call
Roblox,
them the Sinister Six.
Listen, once Roblox came to PlayStation, there was no need for them to stay on Xbox, and they said that. And so
Good, send me the
since
Xbox
they have a
then. They ain't
PS5,
gonna use it, I'll
right?
use it. Send me
Since
the
they
Xbox.
have no, they already did what they were gonna do with it. We only have one Series S now, and that's in the truck. Everything else.
I told you
there's
this
no
be
more
some
Xbox.
anti-Xbox propaganda.
It's not anti. It's not anti. Here's what it is. They also have iPads. They have iPhones and stuff.
Hey, let me say something real quick. Hey,
ahead.
Doc, how much you want to bet? J-Dub's like, well, I mean, you don't really need the Xbox. We can go ahead and get rid of that.
Do they have other friends that do party chat? Because that's one of the reasons my son plays more on the PlayStation. Is all his other friends are in party chats, little cousins and stuff. So,
well, and I'll be honest, man. Like I don't understand it, but all my son's friends, they either have a PS5 or they have a PS4.
Yeah, it's a more popular brand.
They're all playing. They're playing games.
Yeah, but here's
here's
the question though. Doc, is because people keep saying that, like it's just a generic stuff. But why is that? Xbox, listen, let me sell you on Xbox. Xbox has Game Pass, a cheap service that gives you hundreds and hundreds of games. And the games go day and date. You're going to be able to get Call of Duty. You're going to be able to get the new Doom. You're going to be able to get all this stuff, right? I'm selling this. I'm selling Xbox to gamers and to kids and everybody else. There's, if you're worried about money, there's a cheap one. This holiday season, the last holiday season, you were able to get a Series S for $139, right?
Bro, I can tell you why.
No, just hear me out. Just hear me out, right? It's easily accessible. It has all of these good things going for it. It has it has ABK. It has a Blizzard, and it has Bethesda. All this stuff. They had all this stuff going for it.
Yeah.
Yet these kids still decided to buy a PlayStation and game on it. So my son, him and his friends, they're playing 2K, they're playing Madden, and of course, eventually they play some of the Sony games. But yeah, like you said, the multiplats and stuff like that.
But
why? My thing is, why aren't all these kids?
I can answer it.
Go ahead.
I can answer it. All right, this is why. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Alex. So this is why. And there's a quote from the Men in Black movie where they're sitting on a park bench and he asks, how come we don't just tell the public, that there's aliens here? And he tells Will Smith, he tells them, a person is smart, but people are stupid, right? This is why PlayStation is doing as well as they're doing. Okay, because when you break it down the way that you just did, J-Dub, you can break it down. You can see the value of what it is, and in reality, most of these kids would get the same exact value from an Xbox Series S because they're really not looking at pixel counting and none of that other stuff. Yeah. It would be cheaper and they would have more access to games, right?
So on a playing Roblox, Call of Duty, and Fortnite.
Right. On an individual level, it would make more sense. The problem is, right, that people as a whole are stupid and it's easy to manipulate people, right? PlayStation has done an incredible job, and credit to them. They did enough during the PS4 era and the marketing as well, that now they are a home brand. A PlayStation is synonymous for console. People that don't know what consoles are might only think that a PlayStation is the only thing that's out there. And again, that's Microsoft's fault. Microsoft has to figure out a way to compete in the console market if they even want to. But I would argue that they don't even want to compete anymore. You can't tell me that they want to compete, and I don't remember the last time there was an Xbox Series X commercial. I can't even tell you one.
Why is that?
Because they have conceded to losing that battle. That's what I believe, and they're okay with, play no console needed. When you literally have a commercial saying no console needed, and you're not selling consoles, you can't be upset at that. PlayStation is just the more popular brand. My son told me himself, I was like, why did you want a PlayStation over everything else? He literally said it's a flex, especially when it was hard to get a PlayStation 5. Bro, it was a flex.
I had someone offer me $800 for my PlayStation a year and a half after it came out.
Yeah.
And I bought mine off of Smooth. Shout out to Smooth for charging me literally what it cost. Like he made me buy it a bundle, bastard. But he did sell it to me at a cost. He didn't like try to make a penny off of it. So
no, I will say this again though, J-Dub. Anybody that tries to argue that PlayStation is having the same issues that Xbox is having, that's not true. It's just that they're battling against the mobile market, both of them as well. And I'm sure PlayStation doesn't want to lose that. Now you mentioned something about PC and not wanting to put PC in the conversation. That's fine. We could stop putting PC in the conversation when you guys stop using freaking Steam numbers. But as soon as you start using Steam numbers to compare anything, then you brought computers into this. So you can't have it your way. And I'm talking to you and your little freaking ponies that want to constantly talk about Xbox games. How many people are playing Hellblade right now and y'all use Steam numbers? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. You know how idiotic y'all look when y'all do that? And then y'all say, don't talk about PC. I'm going in right now. Hold on, because this always gets me mad. It's like, no, don't do that. And Addict is right. The whole time y'all been telling me, hey, there's no need for Xbox to get a PC. Get a PC. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And then literally I get a PC and I say that Xbox is my PC and my PC is my Xbox. And you're like, no, you gave up on Xbox. So which one is it? Which one is it?
And like I said, the same people that was going at Tim Dog for years while he's an Xbox person got their hands wide open for that man now. Like,
why? Why not? So let me answer. Hold on. Let me answer two things. I'm gonna answer Doc Dark, and then I'm gonna answer that question. Right?
Attic, I didn't even ask
I know you didn't, but I do have a rebuttal.
No, let him ask it.
I do have a rebuttal.
Let him ask it real quick. Let him ask it.
You're absolutely right. Why use the Steam numbers?
Let Doc answer.
Wait.
His question.
I haven't.
Real quick.
No, I haven't.
Come on, man. I interrupted.
I haven't asked him a question though.
No, he says he has a question.
Well, before I forget what because he said he went on a tangent and I want to give him his time. I just want to say this. The reason why, right, we are forced to use Steam as a metric for Xbox is because Microsoft does not provide any data on Xbox when it comes to that. And the fact, wait. And the fact, and the fact that Microsoft has already said that they have more PC Game Pass subscribers than console. Microsoft said that. So if you put two and two together, what else is there for me to go on?
They don't have more. No, their growth was faster on PC, but overall,
no, there was
it's more on
console. At the time there was 15. No, at the time there was 15 million PC. No, at the time there was 15 million. PlayStation, PC Game Pass subscribers, and at that time they only said that they had 25.
I give you props, J-Dub.
So I'm just only stating with
Xbox dudes in here. I'm only by yourself. Yeah, I give you props. I've never seen a pony do that. Bring 3 Xbox dudes on at one time. I've never seen that.
Well, you haven't. You must have.
That's because J-Dub is generally friends with us, and he knows we're not gonna be crazy.
I mean, listen.
So Jacob's cool, man. I keep blocking him on Twitter, but I don't know how he keep coming on my stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you this, Doc, because in the grand scheme of things, you're kind of new around here, but I've been battle tested with Smooth now for the last decade. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an OG. I'm an OG.
I've knocked J-Dub out like 8 times in my career.
He was asleep in his dreams and he knocked me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But let me say something to that, J-Dub.
So he did the worm on the ground when he hit the floor.
You said that you guys are forced to use the Steam numbers because Xbox doesn't provide their numbers. No, that's a cop-out. It's easy to say I don't know, and that's a valid answer to be able to say I don't know how many people are playing it, right? And then when you talk about Game Pass on PC is not Steam. That's what frustrates me the most, because then you're not taking into account the actual freaking Game Pass gamers that are playing on Game, because that's not Steam. Steam is only the people that bought the game. So again, it still doesn't make sense. And yet,
not to mention that people are playing on Battle.net.
So then y'all using these metrics, right? And then y'all telling PC not to jump in. That's the only problem I have. If you're gonna use PC metrics,
we don't mind
PC
fighting.
Can jump in.
We do. As you know, this past week, we don't mind. PlayStation Nation does not mind battling PC dudes, right? We do not mind. Right, when you're the king of the hill, when you get king of the hill, you can battle anybody. Here's the thing, right? This is a console fight. So generally, we call this the console wars. Now, if you, I know y'all say Xbox PC and PC Xbox, but what does that mean now?
Never said that.
No, I'm not saying you specifically, but Y'all know, y'all content creators. Y'all know
No,
that's.
did he not just say, I know y'all say PC's Xbox and Xbox is PC?
No. I've never heard Alex say it. I say it. I can admit it. I say it.
Yeah.
Xbox is PC.
Smooth
PC is
has definitely
every
said
screen.
it.
Every screen is an Xbox. Every screen is an Xbox.
Absolutely.
To include PlayStation
Absolutely.
now.
Including PlayStation.
Yeah,
You're right.
You realize y'all excited for Halo?
Absolutely.
Never in my life
You know
would I
why?
have thought this.
But
Because
you
y'all
do
got
know
nothing
why.
on that side. That's why.
You do, but you do
There's
know.
nothing to look forward for. That's why.
But you do know why we're excited, right? And
Because
listen,
the most exciting things on PlayStation are Xbox games.
You understand it, Kid Smooth and Addict. Everybody understand it, right? And this goes back to us poking fun. The mere fact, it's not like we care and we're actually going to play the game. The mere fact that we took your games and you're going to be sad and you're going to be upset and we get to say nanny boo boo and you get to sulk and cry, that's what PlayStation Nation is.
He's being genuine with that conversation, dog. The most Sea Thieves that got released on Xbox. I ain't never seen this man stream Sea Thieves one time on PC or Xbox. That sucker came on PlayStation. He streamed that for like 3 hours.
Exactly. I was poking. Hey, I did a live podcast poking fun. Absolutely.
I haven't played that. Y'all gotta play that.
I'm willing to bet you he not only did he stream it, but I bet you he did nothing but talk about the downfall of Xbox that whole stream.
That's hilarious.
As I should. Now, if y'all don't know, man, I try to stream a lot of games, but I'll tell you this: a lot of people just generally don't watch playthroughs. They just don't. For whatever reason, I never. This community, I just noticed that when you stream a game, nobody shows up. But when you fanboy on console war, everybody. And so I give people what they want.
You know how you get around that?
So I do both. I do both. I talk shit while I game.
No,
playing Xbox game.
Is you put in the title the shit you gonna be talking shit about.
Right now, the title, I don't know if y'all seen it lately, but the title is stream. Come rock out with me, Doc Dark, Kid Smooth, Lord Attic, and Phil Spencer. Right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to 177 people here.
And who?
And Phil Spencer. Phil is in here.
Clickbaiting and lying and clickbaiting.
You don't think Phil Spencer watched my podcast, brother?
Yeah, you know what? Now I know you're a PlayStation fan. You market it just like the way they do.
Exactly.
That's funny. Funny.
So, hey, Smooth. To be fair, last generation, brother, I did my best to get Xbox to win MPD. I bought all those them Xboxes and gave them away, and was trying to push Xbox to be great. And Xbox just said, we just don't want to be great. And there was nothing I could do. I tried.
That's the reason we're doing so bad right now, man.
I mean, honestly, I just think something is wrong with the human race for not recognizing a good console, good deal, and good games. Like there's just something wrong with this human beings. I don't know.
Oh my god. How about this though? How about this? I have noticed this one thing. The people, we all own Xboxes and well, I don't anymore, but y'all both own PlayStation and Xbox, right? I want to be specific. I know. For you, dog. Listen, but
I don't.
At one time, we all own both consoles, and I noticed
wait, hold on. You got a PC? You got a PC?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you got an Xbox then. You good.
So I got it. You're absolutely right, brother. So here's the thing. I do notice the guys that own both consoles generally, and everybody tends to own everything. That's just, as a gamer, that's just kind of what you do. You always own everything. But I do tend to find the Xbox guys tend to they have a PlayStation 5, but they refuse to play on it. Because hold on. Even Tim Dog mentioned this. He had a PlayStation 5, but he refused to play on it because he didn't want to make his Xbox
now I know
feel.
You capping because Tim never owned a PS5.
This is Tim Dog.
No, I could tell you the honest truth.
He owns it. He owns a Portal. He owns a VR. He owns Tim Dog.
And now he does. He did before he swapped.
J-Dub, I've said this plenty of times. The only people that actually buy PlayStation 5s for their exclusives are Xbox fans. The reason we haven't been using the freaking PlayStation 5 is because there haven't been any good exclusives. That's the only reason. So
I will say, hold on, let me talk. I will say, J-Dub, that most Xbox fans I know have all the platforms. Most PlayStation fans I know just have a PlayStation.
Absolutely, and because what's the reason, right? Now, here's the thing.
So that means more. Does that mean Xbox fans actually play games and PlayStation fans play?
No, you can own some and not play it. I mean, we know it. But so here's the bigger thing. You didn't spend. This is to Doc, right? You didn't spend $500 for this console.
Yeah.
It's universally known this generation PlayStation has had the better running version of the multiplats. Last generation, it was Xbox with the Xbox One X or whatever. It had the better running version, or at least there was a time where Xbox used to tout the better running version of multiplats. Well, this generation is PlayStation, right? So now that PlayStation has the better running version of the multiplats, and generally you tend to play multiplats. Why isn't it that you play on your Xbox? Now, obviously, that question is different for you because you gave up on Xbox and you went to PC. But when you were, the console.
Wait. What do you mean? I mostly play multiplats. I play a lot of Halo. I play a lot of Forza. I play a lot of Starfield.
Like I said, multiplats. They come to the PlayStation.
And you know what, J-Dub? I'm happy for you. It's about time. It's about time something good goes over there.
Don't worry.
I ain't even mad at you.
We can share, brother. We can just keep it down in my house. You know what I'm
saying? I'm happy for you. I just hope you get a discount too, man.
So, Doc, specifically to you, how does that make you feel?
What?
That Microsoft decided to put it's not just 4 games anymore, but it looks like they're going a direction to put their whole slate, including their tentpole flagships, on
I'm pretty sure
platform.
I'm pretty sure this is where I lose the majority of the Xbox crowd. Because to me, I can't stand exclusives. I don't see the benefit for me as a gamer to have to buy 2 boxes. No one has been able to convince me how a game is better because I can only play it on one box versus another. That whole BS that, they only got to develop it for one SKU. I don't believe that because there's plenty of great games that are multi-plats. There's games like Red Dead Redemption that came out on multiple platforms that look way better than anything that some of these games that came out. I guess the best argument you could say is Hellblade, right? Because Hellblade looks phenomenal and there's nothing that looks like Hellblade right now, right? Hellblade 2. But besides that, no, man, I'm not an exclusive person. So I'm okay if Halo goes to the PlayStation platform. And I know that's where I lose a lot of Xbox fans because there are a lot more diehard Xbox fans than I am. I'm looking at queue times. I'm looking at how fast it's gonna take me to get into a game. Like if I put Apex Legends on right now, I'm getting into a game real quick because there's so many people playing it. If I go into Call of Duty, there's so many people playing it, I'm getting into the game real quick because it's on multiple places, right? So to me, put Halo everywhere. It's not gonna bother me. It's not gonna hurt me at all. I'm not like a PlayStation fan that's afraid of having their tentpole games day and date.
I do agree with you in that terms. Me and Smooth actually got into it earlier. I just have one thing that I would prefer. Because obviously Halo Infinite, the story and the actual multiplayer, 2 different apps. Put the multiplayer on PlayStation. That's fine. But I would sell the single player for $30 and make that Xbox only.
What do you think about that? What do you think about what Doc said? That exclusives don't matter. He's anti
to the gamer. To the gamer. Only matter to the gamer.
Doc's always said that, so it didn't surprise me. And then I've been listening to Doc for a while and how he approached gaming, and it makes sense for him because he utilizes.
Just got started, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, he comes
He's
from
too young to comment on.
Nah.
Pretty much, Addict, right? Go ahead, let him talk, Jado. Let's move talk.
Nah, he approaches gaming the way that it's available to him.
That's right.
And out of convenience and stuff like that.
That's
so
facts.
It's the stuff that just makes sense, and the stuff that don't. That's why I rock with a lot of his arguments. It's just but the thing is, I'm jaded and I came in the fanboy way. So me personally, as much as I say, I don't care what they do, because at the end of the day, ultimately, when I say I don't care, I say I don't care because I'm not going to just sell my Xbox and just rebuy all my games on PlayStation to make a message. I'm not doing that. It is what it is. It's not going to stop me from gaming, and it's not going to stop me from gaming on Xbox. But does it matter? Yes, it matters. It's annoying, and a part of the thing, the long running joke on Xbox was Xbox ain't got no games. And when I used to say Xbox got games, everybody was like, "Oh, well, they don't got no first party exclusives." And now they definitely are in position to have them. It's just I don't like the idea to like, hey, we finally have an opportunity to like actually flex and put out some first party bangers, and instead we're going to just give it away while the competition's beating our head, and we're gonna give them the best we got.
Keep in mind, the thing that I hate is Xbox is essentially being like, you know what, we're not gonna hold our platform exclusive. We're just gonna give it to PlayStation. But PlayStation, I guarantee, maybe I'm wrong, but PlayStation's still gonna be like, yeah, we still blocking anything we could possibly get to let us block from.
Yeah. See, PlayStation is playing for keeps, right? And that's just how they are. They're playing for keeps.
Here's the thing, though. Now, since their games aren't going to be exclusive to a degree, now obviously right now it's up in the air, and I do think that there's no definite yes or no at the moment. But
for what? For what? Xbox?
No, just multi-platform with Xbox in general. So even though I don't think that nothing's written in stone, I do think that PlayStation over there, like, you can get them out of the business. Like, because now since their shit's coming over eventually, and they're gonna mess up that mindset with now we just gotta amp up. Okay, Square Enix, you won't do it anymore for this money, but now since we know Xbox ain't getting this money, and we're getting that money, let's take that money and add it with this money, and we can still get exclusives. And I do think that people are like, oh, PlayStation doesn't see Xbox as competition. You're an idiot if you think that. Maybe not. You're absolutely maybe not from a game wise, but the fact that they tried so hard to stop that acquisition from going through, they must have had nightmares about that shit.
Well, Jim Ryan said the reason. He gave a reason. The reason behind him not wanting, obviously, because they already had existing deals and because COD made PlayStation so much money. But two, he did speak specifically, and Phil actually answered him specifically about about changing the industry and not want to destroy gaming. Phil Spencer replied that he trusts Nintendo with gaming. He trusts PlayStation with gaming. But
wait, say that again. He trusts what?
Phil Spencer said that he trusts PlayStation and Nintendo with gaming, meaning they're going to take care of gaming and make sure that gaming is in a good light for the industry in a whole. You see what I'm saying? Like, PlayStation and Nintendo would never do anything to damage gaming, right? They actually like the craft of making.
I don't agree.
And
especially
making money.
The fight for something like crossplay, like as beneficial as that is for the gaming industry as a whole.
Oh, that's true.
They were really fighting hard not to do it.
That's true.
Like,
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Hold up.
I'm glad you mentioned
Nintendo
that.
refuses to upgrade their online infrastructure. That's good for gaming. They won't do it. They're good for stuff if it benefits their bottom of the line. But the moment it doesn't, that's when you're going to see pushback and them not do
it. I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing. When you say good for gaming, you're saying it just because X, Y, and Z is
it's good for PlayStation.
No, it's not. I'm trying to repeat exactly what you're saying. When you say good for gaming, you're just saying just open up everything and everything will fix itself. That's not how things work. Just because you open everything up, Sony enabled crossplay with all that. Guess what? PlayStation guys didn't play with Xbox. There was no kumbaya, everybody's having fun, me and Dark and you, all of us playing. And that never happened. And it's been a thing for
it's improving. It's improving the games, J-Dub, not the community.
Guys, I'm gonna hop out. I gotta go to bed. I work tomorrow.
All right, Smooth. Thank you for dropping by,
but PayPal's good.
All right, cool. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah. Take it easy, brother. Yeah, but as a gamer, there was this big push. Oh, let's get this. We're gonna do this X, Y, and Z, and then they opened it. Everybody forgot about it. Nobody cares. You know why? Because PlayStation guys have their own ecosystem. Xbox guys have their own people. It's never. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think that's fair though, because the whole industry's pushing this way. Discord. Why do you think people want Discord on Switch? Because it combines all of the voice chats for every platform. We can all get in a voice chat for Discord, and we can all play cross-play games. The whole industry's going this way.
Can I say this? Okay, ever since Discord has been on PlayStation and Xbox, I've never jumped in Discord on the Xbox or on the PlayStation 2. It just never happened.
But you just said that you don't really use the crossplay feature. Like, I don't know. Like, I just played
the first thing PlayStation, and maybe this is a PlayStation thing, a PlayStation game.
No, this is a you thing. This ain't a PlayStation. This is a
no, because thing. I speak for a lot of PlayStation gamers. Go and ask Jabari. You can ask my chat right here. Most of those guys, when they play games, they'll say it on Twitter. The first thing they do is go and turn crossplay off.
Why? They do not trash.
No, for one, they definitely don't.
Trash. That's why.
Listen, even Crap Gamer says
PlayStation Gamer. It's trash.
It's a lot of people. It's not that. It's for one, you're dealing with PC. You're gonna have to deal with the cheaters, right? The people that mods.
He's right.
You're gonna deal with the cheaters, right?
Ridiculous.
And then you deal with Xbox. Like, you don't really. I'll be honest. Like, PlayStation gamers just better. Gamers are just better at gaming than Xbox
obviously.
Gamers, right?
You keep opting out to play with the Xbox people. You scared of them too. Don't lie.
Right.
Won't even play with them. You scared to come across me in Destiny. Be honest. It's fine.
So I'm not a Destiny guy, but like, for example, and maybe that's because I'm weird. Hold on. Let me
Roblox and Minecraft.
No, Doc Dark. I'm glad you asked me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, right? So check this out. I own everything. Here's the thing. On my PC, and you can probably call me a PC gamer.
Yeah, right? Doc, when someone says I own everything,
I associate it. No. Because I'm finna explain it, right? And it's gonna make perfect sense to you.
I like it. Explain it.
As a PC gamer, I only play PC exclusives. And when I say PC exclusive, that means games that are only on PC. For example, right now, Gray Zone is a game I'm into. Ground Branch is a game. Xfield, right? Hold on. I'm gonna name a few more. Obviously, Enshrouded, a set of Corsa competition on there. Obviously, I'm a big Rust guy. I love Rust. Incursion Red River is a game that I got into. But I'm gonna give you some of my Escape from Tarkov's, Ready or Not. Those are some of those I got like hundreds and hundreds of hours. But y'all already know, my flight racing like DCS and stuff like that. But I didn't buy this PC to play console ports. I bought the PC to play Dead Side. I bought my PC to play, all my flight simulators and stuff like that I have. I bought my PC to play, and every now and then there are some PC games that actually trickle over and go to console and stuff like that. Then on top of my VR stuff when I'm racing in my tournaments with iRacing, but that's what I use my PC for, right? It's not to play a better running version of the shit that's on my console, where the majority of console in our circle, in our bubble that we have on Twitter and YouTube, we're a small community. It's and we like to give ourselves more kudos than what we are, but we're 0.00.
I think a lot of you guys have main character syndrome. That's just me. I think a lot of you guys have main character syndrome.
Yeah. Armor 3, right? And I can keep going as naming the games that I play that's on my PC. Now on my PlayStation. Obviously my first party games, right? I'm a single player. Absolutely. I'm on it. Day one. I'm on my PlayStation, right? all my first party goatees, all the goatees is there, right? And then even the multiplats, right? Like NCAA, that's my most anticipated game of this year. My NCAA, the EA college football. Can't wait. Got a couple more weeks for it.
Yeah. A lot of people excited about that.
Yeah, matter of fact, I broke out my PS3 again with my NCAA football 14 just to warm me back up, man. You know, 'cause, I mean, it's been a decade since we've been able to play college football. I mean, obviously all my VR games, stuff like that. On my Xbox, right? I and the addict could tell you, right, some of the games that I play, but I have to find myself buying games on Xbox to make sure I boot it up. Because if I buy those games on PlayStation, I'm never going to boot up the Xbox because the better running versions of those games are on PlayStation.
So I feel like that's cap. I feel like that's cap, but keep going.
I mean, it's not cap.
So
now,
what do you have an Xbox for then?
Well, because I own everything and
Can
I
you
bought
just
it.
Tell
I
people
bought
on
it.
Twitter you don't have an Xbox. Now you do. You just
come on, Addict. You every week you see a different tweet of me. Come on, like you know me. But here's the thing:
you lying thumbnails on Twitter.
I want to be. I'm being sincere right now.
Ain't no better than Phil Spencer and Jim Lion Ryan.
Doc, check this out. The reason I bought my Xbox is because of the promise that they promised, right? It's the world's most powerful console. The high fidelity VR and ray tracing, all the stuff that Phil Spencer sold to me. I bought that. And Starfield, for a Starfield card, I bought the collector's edition of Starfield, right? That shit cost me like $300, right? With the watch and all that shit. Right? I'm thinking that this shit's gonna be, it didn't hit the way that it needed to, right? So it's like, so Xbox, there's always that promise there. The fact that Halo got delayed that was a big letdown. So now I'm stuck with this console. It's like, you know, I will buy a multiplat on it, but out of obligation to keep it from collecting dust. Now, granted,
because I got a PS5 and it's collecting dust. I don't mind.
Well, I know, but it's not for the lack.
I don't feel like I owe
games.
the PS5 anything. No, there's nothing to play on the PS5. What would he tell me to play on the PS5?
Let me tell you what to play on the PS5.
What would he tell me to play on the PS5?
Let me tell you. I'm glad you.
Look how long you taking.
Well, because I'm pulling out.
You know what? I'll tell you, Doc.
Nope.
You know, you got the Until Dawn coming out. You know, play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because they definitely need the sales. You know, they didn't support that game very well.
I'm going to tell him.
Also, he still hasn't answered, bro. I'm not playing Astro Ball. No, you know, right now I'm not blowing on no damn controller.
I'm playing Astro Ball. I really enjoyed the first one.
Well, that's all you, dog. I'm not doing it. But go ahead. What you got? What else? What should I play on PS5?
All right, on PS5, man. I'm gonna be honest.
You took a long time to answer, bro. Starfield, Hellblade 2, Halo Infinite, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 5. Come on, keep going.
Yeah, all of those on coming to my PS5. So I mean,
they're not there yet, though. They're not there yet, though.
This is what I've been playing, right?
All your games coming to PC.
Just this year, right?
Which is my Xbox.
Well, good. Kudos. You get to play the third-party games over there, right? So Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, right? That's how we started the year off. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Obviously, you know, Helldivers 2. Hey, we can share that because you're on PC. Since PC is Xbox and PC.
There you go. Okay, Helldivers, you got one. Right? I do give Sony Helldivers. That was good.
What you mean that was good? That was great.
Then I
got Stella Yams, right? You know, we understand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't like ultra feminine female characters on y'all console. We understand that according to you know those in the know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was complaining about the yams, so y'all get Kate. You know, y'all get the flatbacks. Y'all get the flatbacks. Yes, a lot of Xbox guys. You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't like curvy characters. We understand it. Y'all don't like curvy. You know, y'all don't like, you know. Then Rise of Ronin. And I'm gonna tell you that is a spectacular game. I love that game. Amazing game. Now here's the thing. If you ever played any of Koei Tecmo games, I mean, you kind of know what to expect from it. If you played the Neos and stuff like that. But a great get. That's a great exclusive game. That's a great get. I'll tell it. Then obviously the big daddy of them all, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? That is a game. And I know you got that, right?
No, I'm not a Final Fantasy fan.
you don't have to be a Final Fantasy. You don't have to be. You can be fresh in jump in. You don't have to be one of these guys that played it way back in the day. It's okay to jump into something if it look interesting. Or at least that's my thing.
Did you see
Right.
Astro? Did you see Astro?
If it was on Game Pass, I might try it.
Oh, if it was on Game Pass, you would, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I
because you don't have
to.
to-
It was on Game Pass.
Hold up, real quick. Did you guys see Astrobot's supposed to be $60?
I thought it was
Yeah.
$70. No.
As it should. As it should.
I
be.
think
It
that
should-
I think
it's
as
a full
long as
price.
it's on like a little bit of a bigger scale from the first one, 60's fine.
Well, it's the wasn't the first one was a I mean, it was just a pack-in kind of like demo small title. Like this is a full-fledged game. Why wouldn't it be?
As we know.
No, they literally told you you have 80 plus levels, and if you play the first one, you know it's a lot of content. Why
That's okay. They can price it whatever they want. They you know,
Yeah,
they
it's
sell PS4
it's
games for
fine.
$70.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, why is it trivial that a PlayStation first party game wouldn't be worth $60?
Because I don't think a game that
It's
was
only
on the
first
scale
party
of the
game
first
would be-
one should be charging that.
Why not? You literally just played a 4-hour tech demo, and you thought it was worth the $70
No,
that they were charging.
And you know what's funny? First off, Hellblade. No, hold up. We got him,
my
dog.
case
We got him.
before I knock
We
you
got
out.
him.
Before I knock you out.
First off, no, hold
Before I
on.
knock
We
you
got
out.
him. We got him, dog.
Before I
First
knock
off-
oh,
Get him.
First off,
Go
Hellblade's
ahead.
50. So right there, you don't pay attention.
wait,
Second
Hellblade's
off-
50? Well, you know
Yeah.
nobody bought it, so we would never know.
And second
That's-
off,
So
and
that's
second off, I
$10
told
an hour.
people not to buy that game for $50 and just get it on Game Pass. But you didn't watch my content on the game. I know right there. So right there, go ahead
Because
and
it's
sit
not.
down,
it wasn't
J-Dub.
really
Sit
worth
down.
the
Yeah, I
$16.
didn't buy
Put your feet
Hellblade
up.
either.
Put your
But that
feet up
game,
because
that
you
game
ain't
wasn't
listening.
worth the $16 though. That was like $2 an hour. Like, what
do
are we
you mean
doing
it's
here?
not
Like,
worth $15? What are you talking about?
listen, they just came out today and said that 90% of the people who even booted up the game didn't even fucking get the first trophy. Like, what are we doing here?
Did you play it?
Yes, I played it on my PC and I streamed it. By the way,
Did you beat it?
Did you like it?
I didn't like it, but to be
You
fair,
did
I
not?
didn't like I did not. And then to be fair,
Oh, you didn't
I
like
didn't
the
like
first
the
one?
first one. I didn't like the
Okay,
first
you know
one.
what?
As
I
Porter Rock.
respect that. You know, I respect that. No,
Porter
no,
Rock can tell you nobody liked the first one because nobody in any tangible numbers bought the first one. On top of being on like 5 different platforms.
Yeah.
Literally, it sold less than like 1 million copies or barely 1 million, and that's horrible. Given that it spent a year as a PlayStation exclusive, and then it came to Xbox, and then it came to PC, then it came to Switch, and people still didn't fuck with it. With all them collective amount of numbers, nobody did. And so
If
we were
you didn't
thinking,
like the first one. To me, you are more than allowed to say you didn't like the second one because that makes sense. What makes you think you would like the second one if you didn't like the first one?
well, I'm not.
But
One thing about me,
I can't stand those
Doc,
people
I
that
don't
really like
cap.
the first one and then
Well,
talk
here's the
about
thing.
like those.
One thing about me, I do not talk shit about a game that I haven't played or I'm not gonna buy. Like, you can look down my list. I was the first guy to play Sea of Thieves when it first dropped on Xbox. Remember, wasn't a Game Pass title. That you had to actually buy that game, right? What else? Bleeding Edge. I played and streamed that, right? All the duds, all the 69 Metacritic, the
But here's the
63s.
thing, though,
I
J-Dub.
played those games first,
Okay,
and
okay,
I
I-
streamed those games, right?
And I feel
So
you
I
on
get,
that.
so I
But
get,
hold
I feel
up,
like
hold
I
up.
get
Let
to
me
talk
rebuttal, let
shit
me
whether if
rebuttal.
it's good, yeah. go
Did
ahead.
you stream those games because you was generally honest and you wanted to give them an opportunity, or did you stream those games so you can clown on them for 2 hours?
Well, how about this?
Oh, see, how about this? Okay.
No, I'm trying to answer your question.
You got it.
Okay,
You got
Why
it.
would
You got
I?
it. You good.
Why would I waste 6 hours of stream? Just
I
6
said 2, but
hours of
continue.
my life. No. Why would I waste 6 to 8 hours of my life, or multiple streams? Right. So on and on and on, multiple days. Why would I spend that? I got better things to do in life. There's better games to play. Why would I do that? Now, Redfall day one, because generally when I stream those like multiplayer games like that, I stream them with people. So we did a stream, and we streamed it for about 2.5 to 3 hours, and we got sick. It literally made us sick, like a wheezy stomach and stuff. And I don't know if because of the emotion or whatever, but it was like it wasn't a good game. And I gave my fair assessment. Now I get it. I'm a fanboy, and most people, take my opinion with a grain of salt, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But at least the games, like the Xbox games that I talk shit about, I have put in the time and the effort in that. And Sea of Thieves was one of the games that I was capping for, that I enjoyed, and I played. Even to this day, I play not only on PC but my PS5. Obviously, I spent a shitload of hours on Xbox, right? But nobody cares about that. What's obviously Flight Simulator? That's without saying. Of course, you've seen my flight rigs and shit like that. You've seen that. What other Xbox games? Y'all know I'm a racing fan, so y'all know I'm a Forza guy. Forza this year just let me down. It wasn't the way to do it. I gave a thorough explanation after I streamed hours of it.
I will give you your fair when it comes to Forza.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I gave my fair opinion, and my assessment was there's only two markets for racers.
Let me ask you this then.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this then. Am I more fair towards PlayStation games that you are towards Xbox games?
Hell yeah!
I think
I've seen Addict borderline gallop sometime. I'm like, why he liking this damn game so much?
No, because there's certain games that he like, and he like them. I take his. He'll tell you. I take his opinion in gaming. I take that like seriously. Like I'll run something by him before I decide to. If I'm iffy on the game, I'll run it by him. So, now here's the thing. Obviously, we got different tastes in
yeah, I have better
the type
taste.
of games we play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue with that, right? Of course, the chat already know the real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna dispute, but the chat
as they should,
as they should. But I will tell you this: I was the first one that did podcasts, my podcast and other people's podcasts, and I said I didn't want Xbox games to come to PlayStation. I hated that it came to that, and not just from a fanboy perspective. Obviously, on Twitter, that's unlimited amount of content, right? That's why I'm on Twitter every day. I just got unlimited amount of content and memes and everything else. But I grew up with Sega and Nintendo battling and fighting, and PlayStation and Nintendo battling and fighting. I grew up in that era. That's me. I grew up in that. Yeah. I don't want that to go away. And now you're this, well, we don't see them as competition. We gonna do this. No, do not do that. If you're gonna do that, get out of hardware, get out the console business, let somebody else step up and decide to battle. Right? That's just what it is. They battle for our dollars. I get it. Microsoft, world's richest company, they're gonna make us and make no mistake about it. Even with Halo and all this shit going to PlayStation, don't feel sorry for them. They're going to make more money than they ever have in gaming history.
Do not feel sorry for Microsoft. That's
exactly. Weird. Do not feel sorry for them. But
no.
I will say, do feel sorry for the era that really got you in there, the OG Xbox.
You got to feel sorry for the Xbox purists. Yeah, the Xbox purists. Don't even feel sorry for me. I have no loyalty to Xbox.
Yeah, feel sorry for me.
Yeah, exactly.
My YouTube channel's Gaming Addict. Feel sorry for me, man. I'll take some pity likes.
There you go. You know the people that been gaming since the 360 era. That's what I always say. I've been with Xbox since the 360 era. I was like, well, I wasn't. I'm sorry. You know, I've been with Xbox since the 360. So those are the people that are hurting right now because they're like, they're losing.
You actually want, Doc. One thing I'll say about you, you actually are the biggest winner when it comes to gaming, right? Because you started kind of late, and you came in a generation where all you had to do is buy your Xbox, and you got to play this huge backlog of unlimited amount of great games that we call, oh man, that's old stuff. We already did that. Well, you're fresh to it. So when I saw you playing the Halos and all the different, you got to experience. That's like me watching, like, your kid take his first steps. It's like, oh shit, that's just so awesome. Like he gets to experience that. But we got to, old heads, we got to experience that back in the day when it was happening. So
Right,
that's
right,
why
right.
we clinched to the consoles, because this was the best of our growing up and stuff, waiting outside at Funko Land and Toys R Us and different, EB Games, Babbage's, GameStop and all that stuff. So that's why we're more partial to consoles. On top of it's just the shit just works, right? When it comes to PC, you boot it up, you may have all these issues. You may have to update drivers and shit like that, right? I'm not an incompetent guy, right? When it comes to PC, but for the average gamer, people just want to hit a button and boot up a game, and they don't have time for all
it's not the same. I can admit, now that I'm on PC, it's not this. It's not like this crazy hard whatever, but there is.
No, it's not. It's not.
There is
it's
a
got
difference. Yeah,
exactly. But
I gotta start heading out though. But I do want to give you guys one advice, J-Dub. I think you should tell the rest of the PlayStation Nation, because I see you guys doing this. So you guys are seeing how Xbox is pivoting and how it's becoming a little bit weird to console war against Xbox. And for whatever reason, y'all starting to attack the PC crowd. I'm letting you know right now, it is not going to go well. Do not try to go and attack the PC crowd, because
need to be in another Alex video.
Why not?
It's
no,
not
fine.
because
I was probably in the
because
middle.
I don't
you know why?
Because what the advantages that y'all think y'all have, y'all really don't. Y'all over here start talking about like you need a 4K machine and all this other stuff. I hate to break it to you, PlayStation isn't really playing games at 4K. That's all upscaled as well. Just so that you know.
Just like PC, right?
You know.
Just like DLSS, just like FSR?
Exactly. Just like PC. So that's what I'm saying. So you'll see people talking about you need a 4K rig and all this. Like, no, you don't. Relax. Calm down. People were trying to clown me because I got a low end PC, right? And I can admit I got a 7600 graphics card, right? Yeah. And people were trying to clown me, especially like Helldivers and stuff. Like, bro, I could play Helldivers at higher frames than you can. And that's a multiplayer shooter game, all this other stuff, whatever. And I'm playing it on my 4K TVs. Everything's being upscaled. Like I guarantee you, I'm having a better time playing Helldivers on my TV than you are on your PlayStation. I guarantee it, right? Not only that, but I could. I'm telling you right now. So y'all need to chill when y'all want to start attacking PC. Not only that, but that same PC that I will go ahead and play Helldivers on, I could go ahead and turn around and play freaking Halo on, and I could go ahead and turn around and play freaking Warzone on. I have more games that I can play on one hardware. Better than what you can play it.
This is how the reason why we do this is because PC, right, will always take a L in the main point where it count, right? As a console gamer, I spent $399 on my PS5. How much did you spend on your rig?
I spent
you didn't spend no $399.
$900.
Exactly. $900. Okay. So, right? So you spend $900, I spent $399. Shouldn't your PC run the games better?
Yeah, but I could run more games than you can too.
Why not?
You
should. You should. You listen. If I spend $900, I should be able to do something more than somebody that's playing. That's just like me saying, okay.
Yeah. So what are you guys arguing? That's what I'm getting confused with. What is it you guys are arguing with?
I'll be honest. The argument with PC is generally, again, the fight isn't really with PC guys, because just because you buy a PC doesn't make you a PC guy, and there's a lot. That's why I brought up the point about how the people that the PC guys that are actually in the middle of the console war stuff, those are only,
you know what it is,
Doc? Xbox guys that ran and got a PC, right? And I'm not talking about Doc. I'm not talking about Doc at all. This is not you, Doc.
Hold up. Jada, but I did. I did run and get a PC.
True, but but you're different, right? And the reason you're different is because I stated earlier, like, you started gaming at a certain point, and so you got to enjoy all that stuff like fresh. So like, unfortunately, you're the outlier that I don't know if you noticed, but we all push you to the right because you don't count. We can't scrap with you because it's like, you just started to get out of here, right?
I know.
We understand that. You notice that, right? We don't really, but listen, we don't.
That's why. I eat them
You know
up.
what
They
I'm
be
saying?
all,
But
they
the
might be all
PC,
in my DMs. They be in my DMs acting like, hey, I really didn't mean that, Doc. My
yeah,
bad. Blah blah. Did I go too far? Be like, nah, you good. Don't
yeah.
worry about it. It's all good.
Listen, and then the fact, right? The PC dudes, you know, hey, listen, where you gonna be playing Grand Theft Auto 6? You know what I'm saying? You gonna play a piece? All right, you gonna wait 2 years to play that shit? All right, go. We don't mind. We don't mind y'all sitting around and waiting to, you know.
That's gonna show whether or not a game can actually move people to consoles. If that game can't do it, no game can. So I'm excited to see what happens when that game drops.
Game will do it though.
I'm excited to see if PC gamers will actually go ahead and buy a PlayStation or an Xbox for Grand Theft Auto.
But they have already. That's why I don't understand the argument. They have already.
If they
everybody in this community that got a PC gamers, they have a PS5.
So then what the hell is Herman Holtz talking about then? Who else is he trying to bring over with his freaking sequels? Who the hell is he trying to bring over?
Let me tell you.
Who is he trying to bring over his sequels?
Let me tell you who it is. It's the
his
World of Warcraft players
that aren't coming out. That have no release dates.
It's the World of Warcraft guys, right? It's the Dota guys.
And you think those guys are going to buy a PlayStation?
It's the CS:GO guys.
And you think those guys are going to buy a PlayStation?
You think Herman Holtz thinks he's going to come? Some of them have already.
That's what I'm saying. Who is it? Who else is he trying to bring? Because he said he wants to bring new people. He wants to bring new people.
Yeah, and he has. Old games, he brought Doc Dark right to PlayStation. He brought you. Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan brought you to PlayStation. You own a PlayStation 5.
I was gaming on PS3 and PS4 before Herman Holtz and before I knew who any of them were.
Okay, well, guess what?
I used to game on PlayStation.
There is somebody in the chat. No, Cole Eastwood. Look, shout out to my brother Cole Eastwood. Cole Eastwood owns a PS5. Guess what? Tim Dog now owns a PS5. Shout out to Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz for doing that. No. Windows Central, Digital Foundry, all of them own a PS5.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why PC gamers bought a PS5 this generation. You know why? Because they didn't know that the whole slate was going to PC, but now they know. Now we know the whole slate's coming to PC. Nobody would dare say that what game is not coming to PC. And it's so sad because the beginning of this generation, just 2 years ago, y'all used to make fun of games. There's no need for Xbox because all the games are on PC. Now the argument is there's no need for the only reason you need a PlayStation 5 is if you want to play the game first. Like that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You think a PC gamer won't wait? You think a PC? I'm telling you right now, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the game. There's no PlayStation game bigger than Grand Theft Auto 6.
But Doc,
there's no PlayStation game bigger than Grand Theft Auto. Do you agree with me on that?
No.
PlayStation game bigger? Do you agree with me on that?
No, I agree with you. That game,
okay.
Grand Theft Auto is a generational game.
Brand new people. So the console sales better go up when that game drops. If it doesn't, shoot, Herman Holtz will switch his strategy day and date.
Doc, why do you think it wouldn't?
No, I don't know if it will, bro. These PC gamers, you can't predict them.
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
They complained about a PSN account. You think they're gonna go buy a whole freaking? They complained about a PSN account for a game that they were enjoying. Do you realize that? No, you're not listening to me. They complained about a PSN. I did too. I downvoted that. Yeah. Who I went ahead and changed my review of that game.
As you should.
I said a PSN account.
And you know what Sony did? And you know what Sony did?
PSN account.
And you know what Sony did? They said, "All right, we'll give you that one for hell dollars." But you know what? All these other games coming, you motherfuckers is logging in. It is what it is. And if you notice, all of these old games like Ghost of Tsushima and the old, all of them are requiring it, even if they single player. Sony said, "We gonna get you one way or the other, motherfucker. We gonna get you."
Yeah.
Now here's the thing about it. This is why, and this is counteractive to what you said earlier. We know,
stay on the topic though. Do you think they're gonna buy a console for Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yes, okay. Especially the PS5 Pro. Absolutely. Now here's the thing.
Oh no, I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the data shows.
Okay, here's the thing, Doc.
Attic, what do you think? You think they'll buy? You think they'll buy a console for Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yeah, they will, because most of them have already.
For what?
No. If they already have it, then they're not buying a console. J-Dub, keep up with me. There's PC gamers right now that don't have a console, right? Will they buy a console for Grand Theft Auto 6?
If they play Grand Theft Auto 5, if they're Grand Theft Auto players.
Okay. So
which there's
so
over 200 million copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 that has sold, right? Copies.
Okay, I know.
Now we do know that that's not 200 million players. We know they bought them. They bought multiple copies for the shark cards and stuff. We know that, right? But it don't matter. That number is still fucking impressive.
It is very impressive. Okay, but so if this game, when this game drops, we should see console sales go up, because not only there should be PC gamers that don't have consoles that buy it for this game, right? And we should see people that haven't upgraded go ahead and finally upgrade, right? Like half of the PlayStation user base or whatever it is, right? That's still on PS4 might upgrade for this game. Right. So we'll see what happens. But if this game doesn't move PC gamers to console, there's no PlayStation game that'll do it. I don't see the PlayStation game that'll do it.
Listen, I agree with you. If you're a PC gamer and you have to have a reason, right? If I play Dota 2 all day, what could I care about God of War? What could I care about? I don't care, right? I'm a Dota player, right? It's like, and let's face it, a lot of the casuals, they play the CODs, they play the Fortnites, they play stuff like that, right? That's just what they play. You're not going to get a Madden player to try to go and play Spider-Man or go and play Ghost of Tsushima. But we're not worrying about those people because those are immovable. They're happy with what they are. My brother, all he do is play 2K in Madden. That's it. Yeah. You can't pop another disc in his console. And so there's no reason to try to get him to do that. But what it is what Jim Ryan and Herman Host them saying was like, even if we can get a few, like right now with all those old PlayStation games that have been ported to PC, if you look, the majority of them sold 50,000 copies, 100,000 copies, 80,000 copies here. They're not selling any major number at all. You know why? That's because real PC gamers, I ain't talking about console gamers that migrated to PC because they got tired of the stigma from Xbox. I'm talking about real PC gamers. PC gamers that play PC games. Those guys don't really, like, why would they? Right? Why would they? But Grand Theft Auto, and you and I agree, right? We agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. But Grand Theft Auto is kind of like that. That's that one game in a generation that, because of previous generations, it has happened. It's like that is the one game that everybody named Mama just, for whatever reason, have to fucking have, right?
Everybody waiting on that bad boy.
Everybody waiting on. But now here's the thing about it. It's going to take, like the last game, it's going to take about 2 years before it to come. Yeah, some can sit there and wait, but there's a lot of content streamers and content creators and stuff that will play it and do what they do. And the game is going to do phenomenal wherever it is. But I think, I don't listen. PlayStation 5 is probably, 9 times out of 10 is going to outsell the PS4. It's only 3.5 years in the generation, and it's already over that halfway point of where the PS4 was. Given that you had the shortages, given the COVID and everything else, I mean, you can just put two and two together. And this is why Sony came out and said what they're saying, that we've already surpassed the revenue that all of the previous generation in only 3.5 years. So obviously this trajectory is going. The fact that you're finally going to get those first party games that everybody been begging for the first party. Where's the first party game? Well, they're coming out next year, or whatever. So and that's
when they coming? When they coming? You sound like Xbox fans, bro.
Well, they'll probably come when
Xbox fan right now.
No, I'm just telling you, they're gonna come when Halo come. They're gonna come when Halo come.
They just finished a state of play with Astrobot.
They're coming when Halo comes.
They just finished with Astrobot. That's what they finished a state of play.
What's wrong with Astrobot? That game sold over 60 million copies. That game sold over 60 million copies. Didn't it come? Hating on a game that sold what Xbox game that sold 60 million?
Didn't it come with the PlayStation?
No, you pay. All right, take it easy, brother.
I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna listen to this.
Yeah. Well, Doc, before you leave, I just want to say, without a shadow of a doubt, you spent $4.99 for Astrobot, and they gave you a free PS5 with it.
I can't stand you.
I'm gonna give you a PS5 with your as a side dish.
They got me, J-Dub. They got my ass, huh?
They got you. They got you.
Hey,
So,
you be
just
safe,
to
man. Tell
clarify,
the chat.
J-Dub,
Yeah.
are you saying that the original PlayStation 5 wasn't worth the money because it was cheaper than it actually was because they bundled that $50 Astrobot with it? So you saying the initial console is $450? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the initial console is actually $50. What you did, you spent $450 on that game to blow in the controller. That's what you really. That's what really.
I didn't.
He's going
not.
real with this one.
I sure did not.
Hey,
I used my hand for that
can't
part.
be out capped. Oh man.
Can't be
Oh,
out.
you didn't
I
get the
like
full
that.
premium experience then.
Facts.
Nah.
Facts.
All right, fellas.
Hey man, I want to appreciate.
have
I
a
want to
good night.
appreciate you guys for coming through and rocking out with me, man. I had fun.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Of course, man. Thank you for sending the link, bro. I appreciate you guys.
Definitely, brother.
All right.
Y'all take it easy. Take it easy, Addict.
I'll stay on for a couple more minutes.
Okay. Listen, chat, man. Hey, listen, man. Thank y'all. Even Freddie Wayne, even though you in here, Freddie Wayne, man, I appreciate you. Even AA Run, the biggest pony hater, he in the chat. You know what I'm saying? But A Run always rock out with me, man. I let him rock. I'm technically Tim in the house, the Claymores, Roberto Marks, all y'all guys. Listen, somebody asked me earlier, why couldn't they, do a super chat or donate? I didn't monetize the stream. When it's, a lot of times, like I'll turn the monetization off and stuff like that. And I just want y'all to rock out with me sometime. And it's, and I appreciate you guys donating when you do donate and stuff like that.
Don't let him lie to you. He bullied too many people and he got demonetized. His whole channel is demonetized.
Oh man, start me out, brother. Nah, yeah, y'all know. I just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do, sometimes I turn it on, sometimes I don't. And you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate y'all subscribing to me. You know what I'm saying? I do appreciate that. And I will Maj Clarity said, we don't like you. Fuck nigga. Facts. Big facts, brother. I appreciate you. ACL, we see you. No, just it's late night. Y'all rocking out with me past midnight. It's 1:00 on the East Coast and stuff like that. Just having that, just be able to talk video games and stuff like that is, it's good. It's good. Johnny J in the house. I've been rocking out with Addict for a long time, man. Great guy. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Go subscribe to the Iron Lords podcast too. But first and foremost, go subscribe to his channel, man. Got a lot of great content. And like I said, I do take his opinion seriously. And I do hit him up and say, hey man, what you think about this and that? If I'm unsure about something. And he has some great opinions. About some stuff. But before we get out of here, I do want to get back to the whole Halo stuff. If Halo does come in Gears, right? Because there's that rumor of the Gears collection. If that stuff does come to PlayStation 5, and let's say it's time. Let's say it's 3 months, 6 months. Let's say it's a year later. I don't think it'll be that long later because Satya want to make money now. It seems like, I could be mistaken, but it seems like they ain't got time for all the fluff. They into making money mode. These companies gotta make money. They gotta do X, X, Y, and Z. Nino, it's 7 a.m. in France. Man, salute to you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for, liking the channel and supporting me and everything else. But that Addict, I ain't gonna lie, man. Do you see a lot of people jumping ship or tuning out or going to PC or just not rocking out with Xbox anymore over this? Do you think that morale is sinking lower and lower?
I think the fanboys say that, but as far as them actually doing it, I don't know about that.
We'll see, because here's the thing. Traditionally, we've just looked at console sales as that way to gauge how gamers are feeling about something, and for the most part, us old heads, we still do. If you like them, people buy it. If people don't buy it, then they don't like it. And Xbox right now is being outsold by the Donny D box, and we have to ask that why. You have two great next generation pieces of tech and hardware. What is it about Xbox that gamers just aren't riding with? I don't understand. I keep asking that question, but I'm not getting any straight answers. Can somebody just pinpoint why gamers are not buying Xboxes?
bad messaging, games aren't there. There's a few reasons.
Well, they got the studios, they got the
It
publishers.
doesn't matter. They can have as many studios as they want unless they start producing content.
What's the next Xbox game that's coming out? Do you know what's the next one?
Probably Avowed.
Avowed. Verge Brizzle, my brother, I see you. Avowed. Are you anxious for that game?
Yes, I'm a huge fan of those type of games.
Okay, Avowed. When they showed that game, originally it looked like it was going to be more realistic.
Yeah, I do have an issue with the
art style.
The art style change of direction.
Do you think that's why, like, a lot of Xbox games have a art style to them, meaning a more cartoony or a more non-photorealistic type element to them? And I was told that's because so they can move it over to like mobile and TV. It's just easy to port that stuff to other platforms. Then you make some photorealistic like Hellblade. Hellblade can't be ran on an iPhone. It can't be ran on a Samsung TV or whatever natively. You see what I'm saying? Do you think that's the reason? It's just they want to make games that can go everywhere, right? Without having.
No, I don't believe that's the case.
So why?
I think that's just the developers choosing the art style they want the game to be.
So with Xbox Game Studio, with all of these developers and all these, it seems like when you compare it with PlayStation goes for the more photorealistic, more realistic type, graphically like demanding, eye candy type thing. But when you see with Xbox, ultimately outside of Hellblade, you just always know that you're gonna get some cartoony type stuff.
It's not necessarily. I mean, there's plenty of games that's not looking cartoony. It's just some of their like most popular games that's done well looks cartoony. I would say the Gears franchise doesn't look cartoony. I don't know if I would say the Outer Worlds looks cartoony. I think that's just an art style direction. I feel like that game doesn't. Like when I think of something cartoony,
that's a great looking game, by the way. I'm playing it on my my PS5, and I play it on the Portal and stuff like that. Even though I beat it on Xbox, it's just a lot. The definitive dish is really, 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 really good. I enjoy it. Like the colors pop, the resolution is there. It's great. I can't wait for part 2.
I think when it comes to situations like that, certain developers are with it, certain developers aren't. Hellblade's definitely not looking cartoony. I wouldn't consider Avowed looking cartoony either. It's got a very colorful panel.
But you know what I mean. Like
the Doom franchise, I would say that doesn't look cartoony.
But you know what I mean. Like it's not like a Sony game when you see a Sony game. That shit like just sings. Right? It just looked like, oh yeah, that shit looks good. Like they just found they jump head over heels into that doing the technical analysis. They're not finna really go into much detail or care about like games that look like the Sea of Thieves and the other games that I'm not saying what's good or bad. I'm saying as far as the art style. It seems like Xbox studios tend to go for a certain art style, and Sony tends to go in a different direction. I think
some games they do, but not all. PlayStation games have that template either. They've had second-party games that doesn't look like insanely intensive graphics. Like Gravity Rush comes to mind. There are games that they have supported in the past that doesn't have that.
You're right. I'm not saying none of them. Right. Obviously, we got Kena and we Astro. But you see what I'm saying. But even like you got your God of Wars, The Last of Us. You got your Uncharted. You got just your even your Days Gone and your Ghost of Tsushima. Like those games have a certain art style that tends to pique people's interest graphically versus the other one. It's like before Hellblade 2, all Xbox gamers like, man, when are we gonna get our big graphical demanding powwow type of a game, right? On Xbox.
I guess
And I'm glad
I've never cared. I guess I've never
You know-
really
yeah,
cared
you
about
don't- yeah.
graphics.
Yeah.
I just want a fun
Well,
game.
that's true.
Like I
That's
don't
true.
care what the game looks like.
Yeah. Well, I can see that, and that's a fair point. Like
Probably one of the
not
most
every-
graphically intensive games I ever played. I dropped. So
Yeah. Well, put it like this: when PC, especially PC gamers, when they go out and spend $2,000 for a 4090, they're not buying that to play Sea of Thieves. They're not buying that to play certain games.
they're playing. They're buying it to play CS:GO. Like I don't. First off, the majority of them aren't buying those type of rigs. The majority, of PC
but the ones
gamers
that
aren't
are
doing that.
But the ones,
But it's a
that
very
are,
like you're talking like you're trying to like represent like 5-10% of Steam as like 95% of Steam.
no, it's no you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is, if you spend $2,000 for a graphics card, it's to see the showcase of the graphics. Typically, do you think because allegedly Microsoft is coming out with a handheld, that's why they made their games to look like that and to be easy on the eyes and less graphic?
The handheld thing is relatively new, like the thought process to make one. So you can't really take into account. They didn't start this like 6-7 years ago. Start making all your games cartoony. So when we make this handheld in 2024, we can run it all. It's just certain of their developers went with that style of art. Because like I said, there's plenty of other games that they make.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other games. Like I would say Psychonauts is definitely one of those games that looks a little cartoony. But would you consider State of Decay cartoony? I would say that's a colorful game, but it's not cartoony.
State of Decay, yeah, it's I mean, I would consider it a cartoony. Not that it is trying to mimic a cartoon, but it's like it's foo-foo graphics. And when I say foo-foo, it's like it's not trying to push the boundaries of realism, or maybe it's kind of hard but it's just kind of hard.
So I'm saying there's too many variables and everyone sees cartoony graphics as like something different. Like a cartoon graphic style is a specific artist's choice, and I would only consider really Sea Thieves like cartoony a little bit, and I wouldn't even see Sea Thieves as mad cartoony. Like Hi-Fi Rush, that's cartoony to the T.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I couldn't find the word to express what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. You're right.
Now, if you want to say stuff like Xbox doesn't make very realism games, like looks like real life, then yes, that is an argument that's definitely valid.
Okay. Well, and we'll do that. One last thing I wanted to ask you, and that's, what if this handheld that they're coming out with, right, the rumored, alleged handheld, what if it's a streaming device like the PlayStation Portal, but it's Xbox's version, where you can play all of your games on the go, anywhere? Obviously PlayStation Portal has been successful. We've seen from the financial side, from the CEO, and they're happily pleased, and and all the retailers, it was kind of sold out for quite some time, and they restocked it, and so it's always like the top accessory out there. It's the top accessory this year as well. What do you think would happen if it's that? Do you think like the gamers, the
if
Xbox
it's the Portal,
gamers,
it's a straight L? I don't think it's going to be.
But is it a L because the
Yes,
Portal
straight
is
up.
successful? Well,
To whose standards though?
obviously to the people who bought it, and to the company. If the company say, "Hey, listen, this shit is great."
I mean, would you consider VR a success?
I mean, I would. Because
even though they halted production on the VR too.
Well, that wasn't, obviously, that's rumor and stuff. But obviously, PlayStation is doubling down with all the VR content, even from first party.
I mean, they got no choice at this point. But do you think at this point they would make another VR?
Next generation, I believe we're gonna have a VR next generation. Yes.
Okay, well you could be right. I don't know. Like
You just got to think
I
about
don't
it.
really fuck with VR like that in general.
Even last generation, right? Even last generation, people VR died. It didn't sell much for an accessory. And they even I think it wasn't Herman Holtz, but it was the other guy. The new was. They even kind of spoke to that, given the price and given the niche of what it is, that it did in line with what they were expecting. So, we can only take their word, company's word for what they think. If they're happy that, let's say, 1 million people bought it, damn shit, it is what it is. Obviously, we can't look and expect a $600 device to sell 60 million copies aligned with, that's not how that works. Unless it's a pack in like the Kinect was, you're never going to get that. But given the fact that they saw fit to give us a sequel to a PlayStation VR headset, PSVR 1, they gave us a sequel when everybody thought, it's a fair, hell yeah, VR did. And then they came out with a PSVR 2. Then they came out with a Portal. Then they came with the earbuds, all this stuff. Like, we, as gamers, I think as the fanboy gamers, I'm not going to say gamers, but as the fanboy gamers that's in the circle and the YouTube, the console war sphere, we're extremely small. We don't really count. We will, people will go out there and say, what about the boycott that happened with the Harry Potter game or whatever, Hogwarts Legacy? Everything that we kind of say in our little small bubble, the opposite happens. It's like, oh yeah, PlayStation is selling. Oh, VR is selling. Oh, Portal isn't selling. Oh, DualSense Edge is trash. It's not selling. All this stuff is selling, and this fucking the PlayStation and all that shit is fucking selling out the wazoo, and these guys are making money hand over fist. Oh, PlayStation's not making any money. And they come out saying, that shit, they made more money than some of their consoles made in entire generations in only 3.5 years, right? So that's why I take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt. Until the company says, if they're disappointed at something, then that's a failure. But until they say that, shit, I bought it, I enjoy it, I'll still play it. There's games that drop every single week on it. I play my games, I stream them.
I feel you on that. So let me ask you this then. Why don't you have that same energy towards unannounced stuff by Xbox? I feel like you pick up Xbox rumors and 100% it's true. You pick up these people say VR hasn't really been successful to Sony standards. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta hear them say it. I gotta hear them not support it.
Let me tell you why. That's because, unfortunately, Xbox has had a track record. We have the last two generation track record kind of shows us, right? Like, I have something tangible. Like right now, if Phil Spencer comes out and says something, people will kind of look at him with a side eye. Why do they look at him with a side eye? Because of his track record. His track record says one thing while he's doing something else. They were in the court talking about how Sony takes 30% of third-party games and spend it to make Xbox go away and die and stuff. And the whole time we found out they had dev kits. They were actually making games to do exactly, supporting Sony to do exactly what they were accusing Sony to do. So that's why you can't, take that shit as a grain of salt, right? Phil, it's just 4 games, don't worry about it. Okay, fine. All right, we'll see. Now here we are again, right? So Microsoft has a track record of, and you kind of have to admit to that, like they step on their own toes. They do wonky stuff. They just have a habit of doing that. They finally get some steam going and everything is good. Everybody's positive, and you can count it like you can count it to the minute. They're gonna shoot themselves in the foot. Hashtag frosted glass. I remember that. There was the Rare developers talking about how they was just so excited and they spent all these years to make this game PS5 and enable the 3D audio and the DualSense haptic feedback and the instant loading and all the great finesse and fidelity and all the additional content and all this stuff. I'm just saying, like, that's not what I want to hear from a developer under my console's umbrella. I don't want them bragging about somebody else's shit, and that's, I'm being the fanboy right now, but I don't I would hate if PlayStation go and brag about some PC, bragging about, oh yeah, we made a game for PC, it's doing like, we don't want to hear that shit. We want to hear PlayStation is the best place to play, and this is why you own PlayStation. And they came out and they did that last week. They came out and said no day and date. We don't want to do X, Y, and Z. We will put, like we've always said, we'll think about putting some of the older games there, and obviously the live service games where it makes sense is going to go there. So they set some expectations and they stuck with it. If Xbox was to say that, everybody like this show, I think it's gonna be a great show. I think they're gonna show some fire, some heat. But I think it's not gonna matter because everybody's gonna say, well, shit, I'm gonna just wait for it to come to PlayStation. Oh yeah, this definitely coming to PlayStation. And Microsoft did that. Nobody else did that. Microsoft did that to themselves.
I feel you, and that's definitely gonna be the perception on Twitter for sure. And now I'm kind of curious if that goes over to like mainstream media or anything like that. I mean, Xbox isn't really doing well mainstream media in general. I'm curious to see if Call of Duty can help with that a little bit with the Call of Duty marketing rights. I just think there's we got to see the Sunday show to see how hard they go on it. If they say PlayStation on that fucking stage, that's gonna hit different. Like,
so let me ask you this. With that being said, when Satya and Brad whatever Smith or whatever, when they go out and they talk about, they look at PlayStation as part of their ecosystem and Nintendo is part of their ecosystem. When these guys who own and run the company, when they say that stuff, why doesn't that resonate with Xbox gamers? Why they don't take that as a, well, they said it. It's a wrap, folks. It is what it is. Why do they still hold on to the idea that something different is going to happen?
Say that again. Sorry, you kind of breaking up there.
Why do you think when Satya and Brad Smith say that they look at PlayStation and Nintendo as part of their ecosystem and one big happy family, why do you think the Xbox gamers don't just take that as what it is? Why do you think they expect different results?
It's because I truly believe that we see how this shit is. Like, Satya can say whatever the hell he wants. Phil Spencer has said shit multiple times, and the way the company just is run different in 6-7 months, or they just change direction, or business plans change. Like, these executives can say what they want. At the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen 3 to 6 months from now. They could change the overall style because they see it's affecting the overall brand, or they could double down because they're making so much money they don't care. We actually have to see how hard they go.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, man, I wish Xbox luck. I know they're going to have a great show. I think the show's going to be a 10 out of 10 show, especially if they show a handheld and they come out and show some games that, I mean, I can't even say that will be exclusive at this point, but if they show some great games, man, and those games are in Game Pass and they come out this year and not 2 and 3 years down the road. Because, I mean, let's face it, right now, Xbox needs games now, not later. I hope Towerborn
this year. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have games this year.
Yeah, okay. Let me rephrase. Not just games, but great games. Good, receptive games. Not just throwing out games and the games be like Redfall, or they fall. They don't really push the needle. But I want Microsoft to push the needle when it comes to their games.
The thing is, though, is that I can't rock with you 100%. You're saying that because just because a game doesn't apply to you or apply to me doesn't mean there's not places that people can play these games. Like, if you look at the games overall that Microsoft has delivered, besides like outliners like Redfall, it's been 80 plus games for years. Like, they haven't really delivered. Sure, maybe it's not that over-the-shoulder action adventure that PlayStation audience loves and adores, but for the most part, it's good games.
No, I agree with you, and I will concede to that point. I agree with you, and I will concede to that point.
Now, if you want to say that they need more of those graphically intensive, over-the-shoulder games, I completely agree with you 100%. But we can't say they haven't delivered like no games whatsoever. They just haven't delivered any games that appeal to your type of audience.
That's true, but the gamers speak, and the gamers speak with their wallets, and the gamers' wallets are saying it's not going in Xbox direction. So even though you're right, at some point it has to resonate with the masses, and the masses hadn't really opened it up because
the masses aren't even registering with PlayStation's games because they don't sell 30-40 million units unless they're bundled. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just came out, and Square Enix damn near had to change the whole process of the company from that in 16 sales.
Yeah, but that wasn't okay. So this is what we need to do, right? Because I heard this being said before. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did extremely well. Square Enix has a problem with Square Enix. They've put out a bunch of duds, especially, and they were specific when they said that. The Avengers game, the amount of money that they spent on the Avenger game, it failed. They didn't make the money back. So, of course, that's going to drag everything else down. But the stuff that was exclusive to PlayStation did well for them, and it met the expectation. So that means they made their money, they made their profits and stuff. But obviously, Final Fantasy 16 is not enough to overcompensate for them spending $1 billion on the license for Avengers and all the other flop games and other stuff that they had going that had nothing to do with PlayStation. All their other multiplats, right? They put out Crisis Core. That was a multiplat. Nobody on Xbox bought it. Nobody on Xbox supported it. It was 95% supported by PlayStation, right? So that's why I like to. This is where we're keeping the facts and less of the other stuff. I just wanted to make sure because I don't know if y'all watch Square Enix stuff. They specified that it's not because of PlayStation that they changed their strategy and stuff. It's because the shit that they've been doing, all of the Square Enix release, they're like Ubisoft. They release a lot of fucking games. They made Foam Stars, right? That flop. They release a lot of games. A lot of their games flop. But the ones that are partial to PlayStation, like the Final Fantasy stuff, those do well.
Let's go over the PlayStation. So you're talking about the studios that PlayStation owns, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what did Ratchet and Clank sell?
Ratchet and Clank probably sold. I don't know the numbers, but call it maybe 2 to 3 million. Because of it's a platform type of game it is.
Okay, Returnal,
because it's a roguelite, maybe 1 million or 2 million.
What else would you consider Destruction All Stars a PlayStation studio?
No, it's
published by them. It's published by them. No?
Yeah. Okay, if it's public, well, okay, fine. Yeah.
What did that do?
It flopped. That was a dud. It was a free
to
play game.
Published by them too.
Yes, and Rise of Ronin did extremely well. Matter of fact, it made the MPD. It charted number 2 right behind Helldivers.
What is?
But again, Neo, no, hold on. Like Koei Tecmo said, that game sold more than Neo 1 and 2 combined. They was extremely happy with it. They said that. The developers themselves said that. So
okay, and that's fine. What I'm saying is like you act like every single game they've released. Here's the thing.
No, absolutely. Let me clarify that.
What did God of War Ragnarok sell?
But those. See, you got to understand. Those are the bedrock of PlayStation. Those are the show pieces. The show pieces for PlayStation. Of course, they sell 30, 40 million copies. I'm just throwing a number out there, right? Spider-Man, 30, 40, 50 million. However collectively, right? Horizon, 35 million, 40 million, whatever, right? Those are the tentpole. Those are the things that supposed to bring people in.
Horizon, right? The last Horizon, so 30, 40 million.
No, the series, just like Spider-Man the series, right? Between Miles Morales and Spider-Man 1, that was 35 million games. That's before Spider-Man 2 came out. They just released the stats for Spider-Man 2. It sold 11 million plus copies
once again,
in such a short period of time.
Masses. That doesn't feel like a masses thing that you have to add whole franchises together to get those kind of numbers. When Call of Duty almost sells that every year by itself.
No, that's okay. So let's.
But that's the masses. That is the definition of what you're talking about.
No. Listen.
To me, it seems like you're talking about a very large niche market.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
How many copies? Okay, since we're
not talking about Xbox.
No, listen.
That made this about PlayStation,
listen.
and that's what we're talking.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it exclusively about PlayStation. The games that you name are only on PlayStation. PlayStation right now, as of today, has 60 million consoles. Right, so 60 million consoles. So if you take, let's say 11 million copies, right? I'm just, because it's kind of hard to say at what point. How many consoles were sold at this point in time, and I don't want to go there. But what I will say is, since we're going to do that, you use Call of Duty as a matrix. But the number that you use on the Call of Duty, or the idea that you use behind Call of Duty, you didn't say this is how many copies of Call of Duty that sold only on PlayStation. You use the metrics as Call of Duty in general across every single platform.
What was the last Call of Duty?
Was it Modern Warfare 3? The last one? Yeah. How many did you on PlayStation? See if they have a number out there that says how many is sold on PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5, not every other console, not because we want to do an apples to apples comparison. You can't say that Call of Duty sells 100 million copies, but it's also on like 8 different platforms, and use that when God of War is only on one platform, or the PS4.
I'm looking here. It doesn't tell me what it sells specifically on the PlayStation.
Yeah, because they don't.
It made 37. It sold 37 million across all platforms.
Okay, so how many platforms was it on?
It's only on three platforms. Then you say no one buys games on Xbox.
No. Hold on.
You telling me that all these are between Xbox? Are you saying it's half and half?
No. Addict. The game is on 5. Okay, the game is on. The last gen consoles,
Xbox, PlayStation, and
PC. No. Listen,
Switch.
It's not on Switch. It's on PC. It's on PlayStation 5. It's on Xbox Series consoles. It's on PlayStation 4, and it's on Xbox One.
Yeah, and so you're telling me
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's on 5 different. So let's do the math.
26 million. I just looked 26 million.
Okay.
So you're telling me.
Wait.
So
hold on. 26 divided by 5. That's 5. That's 5.2 million.
But here's the thing: you tell me all the time that no one buys games on Xbox, but you trying to say, since it's your narrative, that that Xbox sold almost just as much on that Call of Duty sold just as much on Xbox that did PlayStation. Is that the hill that you're saying?
No. What I'm saying,
by 5. So you're saying equally they sold around the same amount?
No. Addict. This is what I'm saying, because I want to make sure that it's clear on what I'm saying, so there's no miscommunication. You said that Call of Duty sold 26 million. There's 5. It launched on 5 platforms, 5 different platforms.
The whole point of this conversation.
No. Don't back up now. What I'm saying.
No, I'm not backing up. You already lost.
Okay. No, I want to make You're not making an apples to apples comparison. Think about it. Call of Duty is on 5 different platforms. You said it sold 26 million copies. I said wait, listen.
The majority of PlayStation exclusives is on both PlayStation 4 and 5. True or false?
Yes. Oh, yes. And I said that if we do the math, let's do the math, right? Let's do the math. We have PlayStation 5. We have PlayStation 4. If Horizon sold 35 million copies divided by 2, right? Since you have 2 platforms. All right. Right. Simple. Isn't that simple, Addict?
So would it
that's
be fair
17? That's 17 million copies that Horizon sold. So let's do Call of Duty. It sold 20 million copies, 26 million copies. Well, it was on 5 platforms. Let's divide it by 5.
You're talking.
That means
no, that's not fair. You're talking about 2 games compared to 1. You're talking about the whole franchise compared to one Call of Duty game.
You're talking about one game, but across 5 different platforms.
No, but you're talking about a franchise comparing a franchise to one game.
Okay. But Addict, think about it, brother. There's only 2 games in Horizon. There's only 2 games.
Okay, but
so even if you divide it in half, what's 35 divided by 2? Think about it. Think about it.
The point is
that's 17.5. That's 17.5 million.
The point
right?
is one Call
that's
of
still
Duty.
More than Call of Duty. Go ahead.
The point is one Call of Duty on the PlayStation platform almost outsold the entire entity of Horizon Zero, the Horizon franchise.
That's not true, Addict. We just did
Call
the
of
math.
Duty. No, it's not, because you're comparing it to multiple platforms, and I'm just comparing it to PlayStation.
You're not. Because you didn't tell me how many copies of Call of Duty sold on PlayStation. No, but you can. And let me tell you how. We're going to make it simple. We're just going to say all of those platforms sold evenly.
But that's not realistic, and that's not realistic.
Okay.
Any other conversation, you would not be saying that Xbox sold just as much as PlayStation in any scenario.
Okay, so salute. Thank you for Beast Slayer for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm going to continue to do more content. But Addict, if we don't have the number, you're trying to take the collective of every single platform and say, this is better than something that's just on your platform. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make it fair for you.
You're also taking Horizon games, Horizon Zero Dawn, that's been out for like damn near, I don't know, like half a decade, and comparing all of that to one platform, to one game.
It's Call of Duty. It's the world's biggest. You started this conversation by bringing up Call of Duty.
My point of the conversation was you said the collective, the mass collective,
yes,
will decide it, and I said that's not necessarily true because the mass collective don't play PlayStation exclusives. They're playing Call of Duty. They're playing Minecraft. They're playing Fortnite. They're not playing God of War, because if they were, the sales would reflect that. They don't. Now, I'm not saying the games didn't sell well, because they sold great.
Collectively, God of War sold over 40 something million copies of 2 games. It's only, Addict, you act like there's a bazillion games. There's only been 2 games. But even if you split that in half, that's 20 million copies on just one. And to think about it, right? And this is why I don't like.
How many of those games were bundled? Because that matters.
Yeah, you know why? Yeah, okay. Let's say, you know why? Because I'm glad you said that.
Because
all of the developers, right, recently, and I got the screenshots and I can send them to you. They have said you can't. The reason why you can't use bundles as a metric is because they get the money. The company discount the hardware by $50 or $60. The numbers, they get their cut. They get their sale. You think that you're getting a free game. No, you're not getting a free game. They discounted the hardware. I didn't say that. The developers themselves said that.
No, but here's the thing. It's not the same, because if you were going out specifically for that game, that's different than you picking up a bundle that so happened to have that game there.
Because you know why?
Mad bundles that already had the game.
Me too, but who cares? You still spent the money. This is money. We don't care if you played it or not. We don't care if you won it or not. We're talking money. We're talking about you bought a console or you buying a game. Well, guess what? You spent $450 on that game. That's an expensive game, because you remember you didn't need the game, but you wanted the console. So the bundles is a mute argument. That still counts for a sale, because they don't take cuts on bundles. The bundles, the hardware, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. Well, Nintendo never discounts shit, but Microsoft, when they give you a bundle, that game, that developer is getting the full price of that, because that game is selling for the full price. They're just taking a slice of the hardware.
Most of the time, these bundles come from marketing deals.
Yeah, and it's fine. We don't care where the money comes from.
Just my point is, once again, you know what? We've been going around in circles. You win this.
I was
It's
just
all
saying,
you.
like,
It's all you.
Okay, if you take a game, like for example, back in the day, Halo used to do major numbers, right? They used to be able to sell 20 million copies of a game, right? Back in the day, way back in the day. But that case is not anymore. But
because it's no longer mainstream.
Well, yeah, that too. But
there's been I would argue that I couldn't tell you one game, maybe Last of Us and maybe God of War to a degree, but I couldn't tell you one game that had the casual market and the mainstream market as much as Halo.
Yeah, back in the day,
Gears was in that level.
Absolutely. No,
that was just my point. Like when you say stuff like the masses will agree, that's not necessarily the truth, because there would be good games out there that the masses don't give a fuck about because they're not playing those games because they're all.
But I never said what's a good game and what's a bad game. It's not about.
But when we were talking about Xbox, and I said it doesn't really matter on these type of games that you play, even though that they're not the typical third party behind the shoulder action adventure, doesn't mean it's a bad game. And you said, well, the masses will eventually confirm. And I said, well, that's not true, because PlayStation games don't really get the masses either. They get a good, healthy system after they've been out for a decade and being on a, bundles and stuff, but that doesn't mean that they have the mass market. There's a lot of people you can, it's like you said, your friend, a lot of people you could ask, what's this game? They won't even know what the fuck a game like God of War is. Now, maybe not God of War, because I think God of War is a lot more mainstream than your typical PlayStation or Xbox game. But there's a lot of people that don't know what these games are.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's say this. You're right. A lot of people don't know what these games are, but the games that sell a lot for Sony, right? They're tentpole games. Your Gran Turismo's, your Last of Us, your God of Wars, your Ghost of Tsushima's, they banner. They updated their banner. That's their tentpole. That's what they're gonna give you,
and that's fine. But
but those games sell more than well. Like they sell like never.
No, they sell very good. They sell very good, considering they're not.
You can't. They're considering that they're on one platform, right? They're on just the PlayStation. Just like Halo, it was so impressive back then with Halo because it was just on Xbox, right? And now that seems to not be the case, or whatever. Or Microsoft, for whatever reason, decided to not use the same metrics and do the same things that they did previously. Now it's different. So now I guess it's just because even though a lot of people say Gran Turismo is niche. Gran Turismo has sold over 100 million copies of a game collectively, right? Gran Turismo Sport sold over 14.5 million copies, and that's just an online racer, right? Gran Turismo 7, we know they're probably sitting around 13 million, maybe even more, right? And that's just only on the PlayStation. It's not on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm saying. Like, Call of Duty is a big seller. It is. It always has been. But when we see the slice of the pie, if you slice that up, dissect that 26 million and say, okay, how many Call of Duty sold on PlayStation? And then we can say, okay, well, Call of Duty sold 10 million copies on PlayStation. And okay, well, how many copies did God of War sell? Okay, God of War sold 10 million on PlayStation. Then we can talk, but it's like it's 26 and there's no way to know what to split. So that's why I say, well, fuck it, just split it evenly and see how that turn out. That was the only reason I said that, to try to come up with some type of number.
I'm gonna definitely clip that out, that you agreed that Call of Duty sells just as much on Xbox that does PlayStation. I'm gonna clip that. That's mine for future.
Well, I guess it's probably a moot point now because it's free in Game Pass, right? You can get it for free with a Taco Bell
Doesn't matter.
coupon.
We're talking right here, now.
You're right.
Game Pass
yet. Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Well, okay. One last question before I let you go, because I know you got to go.
Well, now you're trying to take this away from me.
I'm gonna snatch the jaws of victory from anybody on this channel. But I do want to say this, man. What's your most anticipated game from Xbox for this showcase that you think may show up?
State of Decay 3.
State of Decay 3.
It would be Avowed, but I don't want to see Avowed there. It's probably going to be there. I don't like when companies take multiple years to show the same games. It's like, you know, if you showed Avowed last year, let that go to someone else. And this year you need to show something else in its place. It's not my fault that you decided not to give it a release date at the Direct. But unfortunately, it's probably going to be there because it's marketing purposes. You know, a lot of people, I would like Avowed and Indiana Jones to be at Jeff Keighley's show.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. A lot of people,
seen it.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know, but I'm a huge State of Decay fan. I've put more hours. I've put hundreds of hours in State of Decay 1. I've put not so much in State of Decay 2. I played it day one, and we played it for months. Me, Mooch, Crap Gamer, back when it launched, we had the Xbox One X, and we played it. Whatever, we was falling through the floors because it was buggy as hell, and I thought that all they had to do was fix a lot of the jank animations and let you and your friends kind of control a part of a town, and you know, kind of take over some houses and take over town, and then you get to play against some other enemies that's taking over some. You know, I hoping that there was sandbox a thing in it, and they didn't. Even though the developer said triple, you know, he said it was AAA all the way, and that turned out to not be the case. So I just got tired of them lying.
Well,
I hope State of Decay 3.
We got to abandon this term AAA, AA, and single A because the industry has mixed those up. So why do we think we can define them?
Yeah. Well, and again, I only say that
you got people like Ubisoft and Xbox saying they have quadruple A games. Like,
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. I miss the simpler times, Addict. I miss the simpler times where, you know, we knew what was what, and we just, now all the metrics got changed. You know, it went from sales to user engagements. It went from user engagements to this. It's always the stick is always going to move with some of these corporations and stuff like that. But my most anticipated to see the most anticipated game from the showcase coming up will probably be Perfect Dark. I'd like to see a slice of gameplay or something more on Perfect Dark. Where are we with that? You know, is it going to be a realistic type game? Is it going to be more of a arcadey type game? What's the graphic layout?
I really don't care about Perfect Dark.
Well, a lot of people. You know,
I think it will be a realistic type game. The graphics they've kind of showed makes it look realistic.
Yeah.
The way they presented in that CGI. There's very few games that when they present to you in that first CGI change it up once it actually comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Avowed's one of them. Avowed definitely looked different in its initial CGI. But most games, like look at Dishonored 1, had a fantastic CGI intro, reveal trailer. And for the most part, the art style looked identical to what they portrayed in that trailer.
That's true.
Most games don't try to change it up drastically like that. I don't even think Avowed wanted to, but I know they had some development issues and they changed the direction of the game. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate it. Guys, we're about to get out of here. Go and subscribe to Lord Addict's channel, man. He's always doing content, and you can catch me over there too sometime, chopping it up with him. And sometime I'll jump over there on the when we have these state of plays and Xbox events. I'll go over there with King David, and we'll go back and forth over some stuff and get my opinion, gets his opinion, and crack jokes and stuff like that. So, you know, go and subscribe and stuff. Anything you want to say, man, before we close it out?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Well, so the fellas have touched down. They're over in LA. That's where they are, right? LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're over in LA, and they're going to be doing, you know, recording stuff and sending footage and enjoying the festivities and meeting and greeting people and getting ready for this Sunday show, man. I hope Xbox knocks it out the park.
I think they will. Unfortunately, their dumb as business decisions, I do think is going to hurt it a lot. Hopefully the games speak enough that people are just excited for the games and not necessarily as much as the hardware, because that's what it realistically should be. But people like me and you, we've been covering the hardware so long, it's hard to separate the two.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, with that being said, everybody, thank y'all for coming rocking out with us, man. We're finna get out of here. We've been streaming for 3 hours and 13 minutes. My God. We had a peak about 220 people in here, and I appreciate y'all, especially being a late show, late show. I appreciate you. Thanks for everybody who came out to sub. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share it out. I hate saying that because I sound like every other YouTuber out there, but if y'all want to,
there's no problem reminding people to do stuff like that. Here's the thing, you know how many times I'm in a stream and someone say, "Yo, hit the like button if you enjoy the content." I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is when you try to make people feel bad for doing it. I don't think there's an issue of just say, "Yo, if you enjoyed this content, definitely hit that like button," because a lot of people forget to.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Now, if you say, "Oh, if you don't share this content, I'm not gonna grow," like that's not right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I know people do that. Everybody's different. Everybody. It depends on some people, they want to make this their career. Some people, like me, I'm a big Twitter head, right? So I do my trolling and stuff like that. And
I think you can grow a lot on YouTube if you actually took time to do it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, man. I'm doing more content now. I've did more shows this year than any year.
You need a producer. That's what your ass needs.
I know.
You don't even know how to use Streamlabs. Don't even know how to bring someone in and talk to them.
I know, man. I know. Start me out. Listen, man. Y'all gonna start getting some streams directly from my PS5. That's what y'all gonna get, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm lazy like that, and I'll just go live on my PS5 and just talk to people while I play games and stuff like that. Just depending on it. I know I'm lazy when it comes to this stuff, man. But I see, you guys have all these professional production and stuff like that.
No, we don't. It's me.
Well, you specifically. But we'll see, man. I hate to say it, but it looks like the console war has come to an end. Things are changing, and so poor guy like J-Dub gonna have to find something else to talk about. I can't talk about Xbox anymore. I'm gonna have to go box with Nintendo dudes and PC dudes. You know what I'm saying? Go fight them the Stadia guys or something. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think that's a fight you could win.
I can't. I got a 4090. I got a 4090. I can slap with the best of them. So. But it's okay. Anyway, man, I am excited about the PlayStation 5 Pro that's coming this year. I can't wait to play it. I'm on it day one, and PlayStation will officially be the world's most powerful console, and of course, you're gonna hear me screaming from the mountaintop and mock and everything else. Anyway, it's been great. Thank y'all for coming out. I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Check me on Twitter. Y'all know where, you know what I'm saying? Kicking up dust. Hey, listen, the new mascot of PlayStation is Master Cheeks, aka Master Chief, with